Hi, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. Many CMA final students are asking about the ABC analysis for June 2026 examinations, and they are asking about revision series also. In this video, I will give you update about two things. The first one, ABC analysis for June 2026 and revision videos for June as well as December 2026 examination. Whatever the revision series videos we are going to upload, that revision series videos are useful for both attempts, June as well as December 2026 examinations. And now in this video, I will tell you how to download our soft copies also from our website. Whatever the soft copies are available in our website, yes, that is version 5 books which are useful for June as well as December 2026 exams. The first we can go with the ABC analysis of CMA final direct taxation, that is paper number 15. Now I am classifying whatever the chapters we have in our syllabus into 4 categories. The first one A plus, second one A category, next one B category, next one C category. So in this, the very important, you should prepare every chapter within A plus category chapter. There is no excuses also. There is no choices also. If you prepared all these chapters thoroughly, definitely you can get question paper 80 marks from these chapters. You can score 70 plus also if you prepared each and every concept within that. Okay. Yes, if you are confused anything or any chapter related provisions also, no problem. You can get 50 or 60 marks also. So that's why what are the A plus category chapters? Basic concepts, chapter 6-year deductions, double taxation avoidance agreement, yes, transfer pricing. For these two chapters and tax planning chapter, definitely chapter 6-year deductions knowledge is required. So that's why chapter 6-year also A plus category. Now business restructuring, non-resident, advanced tax and interest, appeals, trust chapter, PCBP, assessment of various entities, these are all A plus category chapters only. Now if you come across the A category chapters, return of income, updated return, assessment procedure, search and seizure, advance ruling, block money, ICDS, these are all the chapters also A category. If you haven't time, yes, you have to refer these chapters also, because in search and seizure we have an amendment, in updated return also we have an amendment, and every attempt they are given the ICDS also. In every MTP they are concentrating on the advance ruling as well as block money act. So easy chapters, and within the less time you can complete revision of these chapters also. Next, B category, tax audit. Sir, why tax audit is B category? Because that is given in our supplementary material, but in our main module which are applicable for our examination, they are not included the tax audit topic, but safe side we have to refer tax audit. It is a B category. GOR, capital gain, TDS and TCS, many amendments are there. You should refer amendments at least. Liabilities in special cases. Next, penalties and prosecution. You will get at least 2 MCQs from this. That's why B category. You can outrightly ignore these topics, no problem. Yes, income tax authorities, collection, recovery, refund, income from other sources, as well as dispute resolution committee. So in this ABC analysis, again I want to communicate, if you prepare these 12 chapters thoroughly, you can score exemption without any doubt. Now, so if you observe the MQP of June 2026, they released the model question paper. I think in that heading they given it as an practice test paper PTP. Anything also one and the same. Yes. In this paper pattern only, our final examination also mostly will come. In the last attempt also, December 25, MQP pattern only reflected in the final exam. So now you can get the same paper pattern in our final exam also. Sir, if it is not repeated also, don't worry, because we are ready to prepare these 12 chapters. Anyhow, you are in a safe side. But you can expect the same paper pattern for the June 2026 examination, same like as an PTP paper. 2A trust chapter. 2B, 7 marks, assessment of various entities, partnership from total income and tax liability computation. 3A, 3B, totally from the tax planning chapter. 4A, business restructuring. 4B, non-resident. 5A, advance ruling. That's why I given this as an A category. Next, advanced ruling after that, advanced tax and interest, A category, A plus category. Yes, next, transfer pricing, DTAA, again transfer pricing, assessment of various entities. I think it is a book profit computation, MAT, simply MAT computation. Next, transfer pricing. In this same way, you can expect the final question paper also. Now, what about the revision series, sir? Yes, in this attempt, that means whatever the revision series now I am going to upload for June as well as December 26, these videos, I will upload some videos recorded. So that means I take an EVO batch and I haven't recorded of my own versions. I will upload the same videos, but some chapters I will come for the YouTube live. That means the mixer of the both the live as well as recorded I will take, and MCQ discussion I will take the live session. So whatever that version 5 MCQs we have, that all the MCQs discussion I will take through that YouTube live. So that means, yes, so tomorrow or today onwards I will upload the recorded videos, and in meantime, that means any day, Saturday, Sunday or any day, if possible, I will come for the live also. Yes. Now, sir, whatever the revision series you are going to take, how to download that materials? How to download the materials? So whatever that materials we are going to use in our revision series, that are version 5 materials, so which are already I uploaded in our website. Yes, you can log into our website with your mobile number. Yes, www.shikharatutorials.in. Yes, under free resources, I already uploaded these 3 books: concept book, workbook, MCQ and handwritten notes. These 3 already I uploaded. You can download and you can take Xerox and you can use for the revision videos also. Now, again I am saying soft copies are available for download, and with that, with the soft copy you can go for the Xerox also. Yes, what is that? Version 5 books only you have to use for the June as well as December 2026 exam. And last one, I want to say all the best and thank you. Have a nice day.
Yes, now we can start the block assessment. Yes, remember, we have an block assessment provisions in our Act, section 158B to 158BI. Yes, section, you can write along with me also. What are the sections? Section 158B to 158BI is given the provisions relating to block assessment. Sir, what do you mean by the block? A group of years. Yes, block assessment. Sir, it is a separate chapter in our Income Tax Act 1961. It is a chapter. Yes, if possible, you can remember chapter 14B, or you can remember 14 also, no problem. Chapter 14B. You know some introduction already. Yes, again, but I will write it down. If any search and what seizure combinedly we discussed already under section 132. And one more concept we have to attach with this. What is that? Requisition. What is that? Requisition. If such a seizure and requisition conducted, yes, finally we have to calculate the tax liability of so and so SSC by using assessments. What is the position of an assessment before 1/4/2021? What is the position of the assessment before 1/4/2021? Yes, ma? Which assessment, ma? Block assessment only. Before 1/4/2021, on this we have to start the what, ma? Block assessment. So that is only assessment of such cases. 132, yes, sorry. 132, 132B is what? Use of, how we can use the seized assets. 132, right? Which assessment, ma? Block assessment. Okay. But in which Finance Act they decided to change? Yes, that is on or after 1/4/2021. Yes, and before what, ma? 1/9/2024. in between, yes, search and requisition cases covered in which assessment? Income escapement assessment. Income escapement assessment procedure. Income escapement assessment procedure. Remember, sir, when they give an amendment ma, on or after this date, this amendment made in which finance act ma? Finance Act 2021. Because in order to reduce the compliance burden, on that time they taken the decision why we need a separate assessment like block assessment, income escapement. So such cases also we can match it to the income escapement. But this decision only before what ma? 1/9/2024. Again they come up with the amendment when ma? On or after what date? 1/9/2024. If any search or requisition done on or after this date, so they reintroduced the which assessment ma? Block assessment. It is not a new concept, they just reintroduced the block assessment. Reintroduced the which assessment? Block assessment. So this reintroduction done in which act ma? Finance Act 2024. Finance Act 2024. That's okay. What are the provisions they given for this block assessment? 158B to 158BI. But again, this Finance Act 2024, whatever they given the provisions under block assessment, amended in which act? Finance Act 2000. Completely amended or partially amended, but we'll discuss what are the amendments also in which Finance Act that is amended ma? Finance Act 2025. Yes, I will tell you that purely amended, but I will tell you this point is amended also. What are the points are amended also I will tell you. But before, what is it? Provision before amendment not required because it is on wrong. There is a lot of mistakes in this reintroduction. Then after that mistakes or whatever the loopholes are there, they rectified in the Finance Act 2025. How many sections ma? B to BI. 158. Can you tell me? We discussed it till 156 in which chapter? Assessment procedure, demand notice. 156 demand notice and modification of demand notice also we discussed. Okay, continuation only 158 assessment procedure section number only they maintained. We discussed in assessment procedure last section 156. Then continuation they given 158. Understood? Now, sir, first contents. What are the sections we have? We can maintain. What are the contents we have? So sections wise, first I will give the list. But while writing these contents, you don't know anything. Just write it down. One by one, we can start the discussion. Yes, please start the writing. First we have an 158B. That is only starting section, right? 158B, simply in this block assessment, whatever the definitions we are going to learn, that all the things are given in the 158B definitions part. What is that? Definitions part we have in the 158B. Second one, 158BA. 158BA. Assessment of total income. What is that, ma? Assessment of total income. Sir, we are calculating the total income simply. As a result of what, ma? Why we are calculating the total income here? As a result of what? Search. As a result of search. How we can calculate the total income of an SSC if any search conducted? On this total income only we can collect the what, ma? Tax. Third one, 158A done. Now we have to discuss the 158BA. After that what, ma? BB. Now computation of total income of, tell me, which period we have to calculate? Block period. Block means a group of years. A group of years total income, how we can calculate? Total income of which period? Block period. Next, ma. Fourth one, just write it down. You don't know anything, I know. Just write it down. I will explain you everything. Next one, ma. 158. B, C. Ma, we have an B to BI. So that means B, BA, B, BC, like etc. till BI we have. BC is nothing but what, ma? Procedure for block assessment. How we can do the block assessment? Procedure for block assessment. Procedure for which assessment? Block assessment. Next section, can you guess, ma? 158. B, D. Undisclosed income of other person. Undisclosed income of whom? Other person. Undisclosed income of other person. Okay. Next section, can you guess ma? 158 B E. 158 what? B. Sir, every assessment required to complete within its limited time frame, right? What is a limited time frame? We can discuss. Time limit for completion of block assessment. Time limit for completion of block assessment. Time limit for completion of which assessment ma? Block assessment. In your material I given the before amendment or after amendment, even in handwritten also. Some cases the students can get confused based on the two before amendment, after amendment. Now you can maintain the notes. In this I will tell you what is a provision only after amendment. Clear? Now 7th section ma BE is over. Can you guess what is the next section? Section 158 BF. Certain interest and penalties. Certain interest or penalties. Certain interest or penalties. Yes ma, not imposed. Is not imposed. Next 8th one ma. Yes, can you guess me what is it? Can you guess the next section? 158 BFA. Levy of interest or penalty. Okay, certain penalties is not levied, but what are the interest or penalties will levy? In block assessment, what are the penalties we can collect? 9th one and last section, 158 BG. These are only the sections we have in our syllabus. 158 BC. What is that ma? Authority competent to conduct. Authority competent to conduct which assessment? Conduct block assessment. What is it? Block assessment. Which authorities, which income tax authorities can conduct the what ma? Block assessment? They given in 158 BG. So, sir, these are the sections. We have 9 sections. But what are the sections are amended in this Finance Act, sir? This section amended. BB also amended. BC also amended. BD also amended. BE also amended. Yes, sir. These 5 sections got an amendment. The remaining are unchanged from the 24 to 25. Finance Act 24 provision same as it is in 25 Finance Act also. But what are the sections changed? 158B, 158BB, 158BC, BD, BE. Now we can discuss one by one. The first we can discuss the which section ma? 158 section 158 B only will start. What is that? Definitions. What is that ma? Definition. Shall we? Under block assessment, we have to know the definitions. Ma block assessment. Sir, what is that another name? Assessment in case of what ma? Search. In case of search, what is that assessment we are going to conduct? Sir, definitions are very important in this context. Mostly you will get the MCQ from definitions only. Mostly you will get. And last attempt also they given the MCQ. December 25 they given MCQ from the block assessment only. In next also definitely they will give MCQ. June 26 also they will give MCQ. Next attempt also they will give MCQ, but they will change the content of MCQs frequently. Now, first definition, yes sir, we can discuss the first definition. We can discuss the what do you mean by the block period? What do you mean by the what ma? Block period? Shall we? So for this entire block period, we have to conduct the assessment. That's why first you need to know about the what is that block period. Okay. Now I will tell you some inputs for understanding these contents. Listen. Yes, I will give you search initiated date. What is that? Search initiated date. Yes, that is nothing but um, 30th 5 2025. 30th 5 2000 what ma 25. Can you tell me on or after 30th 9 2024 or not? So which assessment we have to start? Block assessment only. Remember, search initiated date we have to check. Search initiated on or after this date or not? Yes. Then which assessment we have to follow? Block assessment. For doing the block assessment, we can check what is the block period. In exam, they will give you search initiated date also, as well as search concluded date also they will give. What is the search concluded date? Please let me know. 18/9/2025. Search concluded date. So now, can you write the previous years regarding this? Previous year 25, 26. What is that assessment year relevant to the previous year? 26, 27. Now, if you know the block period, if you want to know the block period, remember previous year in which search conducted, right? Search conducted in this previous year. Before this, immediately preceding 6 years, I want to take. How many years in block? 6 years. Immediately preceding to this year means, can you tell me what are the years? Previous year, 24, 25. Previous year, 23. Previous year, 22. Previous year, 21. Previous year, 20. Previous year, 19, 20. How many years preceding to this year we have to take? 6 years. Not only these 6 years, we have to add some more period. Students will forget this. Not only 6 immediately preceding previous year to the previous year in which search initiated. Now we have to take this some more extra period that is started from this year to search concluded date, not initiated date. What is that? 18/9/2025. This total period only we can call it as a block period. For this period only we have to do what? Assessment. Can I write it down in a simple way? Yes, they are asking the period. Block period means the period related to, yes the period related to previous, how many? Previous 6 previous years preceding to the year in which search under section 132 or requisition under section what? 132 capital A was conducted. In which year we conducted that? Immediately preceding how many years we taken? 6. It is ended or we added one more period? One more. What is that? The period starting from first day of previous year to search or requisition concluded date or initiated? Search or requisition concluded. So this is only the meaning of which period? Block period. For this block period only, now we are required to conduct the assessment. That assessment only we can call it as an block assessment, or we can call it as what? Assessment in case of what? Searches. Done. First definition we discussed. One more definition we have to discuss in this 158B. This is only your MCQ always. Okay, many are remembering the 6 years, that's okay, but extra period also we have to add. That is only what? Block period. Done. Now, please take the next definition. After block period, we have to take the next definition. What is the next definition? Undisclosed income. Sir, in block assessment, we have to identify which income? Undisclosed income, right? Yes. If it is copied, please let me know. Then we can discuss the definition B, undisclosed income definition. Copied? B. undisclosed income. What is that? Undisclosed income. What is that undisclosed income? And the remaining points now I will tell you. Yes, sir. I will tell you that 4 cases. In these 4 cases, that income can be treated as what? Undisclosed income. They given the definition in how many parts? 4. First, yes, second, third, fourth. In these 4 points, if any income is there, that is only we can treat it as what? Undisclosed income. Yes, first. Listen carefully. First I will write it down. Any money. Next one, bullion. Jewelry or jewelry, comma, virtual digital asset. There's an amendment. Previously, we don't have any virtual digital asset in this definition. They added virtual digital asset also. Or what? Any other valuable article. Any other valuable article. Yes, if these things are there. In SSC hands, if these things are there. Tell me, what is a position? Has not been disclosed. Has not been what, disclosed. Has not been disclosed. Sorry. Has not been, okay. Or in future also would not have been disclosed. Would not have been disclosed. Sir, which disclosure not done? Either whole also or what, part also. In past tense we take, and in future also he will not disclose. That's why which this assets whatever he have, that is what, undisclosed only. Next, second point they drafted intelligently. My example, now you have an 1 crore. How much money, 1 crore. Okay, that 1 crore will appreciate in the next year, right? Like interest or any other thing. If any income arises on these undisclosed things, that is also what, undisclosed income. Yes, now I will write it down. Any income arising from, what? These things. Yes, that income, can you tell me when, has not been disclosed? That income itself you are not disclosed, or you don't want to disclose even in future also, wholly or partly. Now this is treated as what? Undisclosed income. What is that amendment? Virtual digital asset added to this anyway. In every case they added the what, virtual digital assets. Copy the first 2 points, all of you. Next, third one. How many points are there? Totally 4. Now we are discussing third one. I'm purchasing these assets. I'm purchasing these assets. These are undisclosed only. How I purchased it? By using money. Expended some money on this. But for expended some money on this, how you end that? I will ask explanation. If you are not saying, that is also what? Undisclosed. Again I am revealing any expenditure yes, arising from these things. What are these things? Yes, any expenditure arising, that means you purchasing these things from your money, you are expending some money on these assets, but how you earn the money? I will ask an explanation. If you are not disclosed, or you will not disclose even in future also, wholly or partly, that is also now we can treat it as what, undisclosed. Sir, they framed every corner. Example, undisclosed asset for purchasing purpose, whatever that expenditure you incurred. For that also I will ask an explanation. If you are not disclosing that, that is also what, undisclosed only. Next, last one. In every year return, we claimed some expenditure as an deductions, some allowances, some exemptions we are taking. Every year we are filing the return and we are taking that many exemptions and deductions, but without having the proofs. You are not eligible for those exemptions, but from the last 10 years or 20 years, you are claiming those exemptions as well as deductions. Because of the wrong claims, what happened to the earlier years? Your income reduced, right? Whatever that income reduced in those years, that is only now we can treat it as undisclosed income. They logged everyone by using this undisclosed income. So now you can write it down. The last point in this, please write it down. Any expenses, any what ma? Expenses, comma, exemption, comma, deduction or allowance claimed previously and which are you claimed previously, now we identified which are what found to correct or incorrect? Incorrect. Which are found to what ma? Incorrect. Because of these wrong claimings, what happened to the earlier years incomes reduced? How much extent reduced? Now that is only treated as undisclosed income. For that block period, simply we have to calculate the undisclosed income. On this we have to calculate the tax. So first section we discussed the definitions only. How many definitions ma? 2 definitions. The first one is nothing but what ma? First one, block period. Second one, undisclosed income. Right now, sir, I will start directly. This section understood all of you. Yes, now I will start the 158 BC directly. What is that, ma? 158 BC will discuss directly. Shall we? All of you, please give the heading next one, 158 BC. Please open 158 BC. Ma, I will tell you every section, but in order, if you are going, that is difficult to understood. That's why after definition, I will start directly 158 BC. Give the heading. Section 158 BC. What is that 158 BC? Procedure for block assessment. Afternoon class time ki 2:30. 2 to? Okay. Procedure for which assessment, ma? Block assessment. Understood, ra? Understood. So now AO, who is an AO will send the notice to the SSE. On this SSE already which things happen, ma? Search, seizure or requisition happen. Now this AO will send the notice to the SSE. AO will send the what, ma? Notice to the SSE. I think you know every assessment should start by way of sending the notice only. Here he sent the notice. In response to this notice, SSE is required to file the return of income for the block period. I think now you know everything. What do you mean by the block period? Sir, maybe you haven't doubt, sir. I think in return of income, ITR forms are available. Every ITR form required to file for 1 year only. But you are asking to file the return of income for that entire block period. Will it be possible? Yes, possible. How to file the return also I will tell you. Which form number we are required to use also I will tell you. Yes, remember? Yes. Who is an AO here? Yes, AO is nothing but Deputy Commissioner of Income Tax, Deputy Director of Income Tax. Yes, next Assistant Commissioner of Income Tax or Assistant Director of what, ma? Income Tax. Next one, ma? ITO full form, Inspector of Income Tax. These authorities can send the notice for block assessment, but remember this notice if they want to send, yes, for these purposes they have to take in prior approval. Prior approval is required to take. Yes, prior approval from whom? For them who is an higher authority, additional Commissioner of Income Tax or Additional Director of Income Tax. Next one ma, Joint Commissioner of Income Tax or Joint Director of what ma, Income Tax. That means remember, no need to by heart. If they are acting as an AO, they have to take a prior approval for sending of this notice to the SSE from these authorities. Now I will tell you. Now I will tell you. Yes, sir. How to file the return? In which ITR form we have to file the return? Remember, I will tell you in and out verification of return of income under section 158 BC. So okay, verification means who can give the signature at the end of the return filing. But what is that ITR form we have to use for this for filing ma? ITR B they introduced for these purposes. What is that? ITR B. Yes, what is that ITR form ma? ITR B they are going to use. So now verification means already we discussed 140 section. Who can verify the return? Who can verify the return? How we can verification of the return? That means electronic return with a digital signature. Electronic return with a what ma? Digital signature and electronic verification code. Many things are there. So how we can verify? Remember the first one is nothing but what ma? Tax audit under section 44 AB. Tax audit under section 44 AB. If an SSE having the tax audit and if he is filing these returns, second one what ma? Company SSE. Suppose if the SSE is a political party. Yes, in this case, can you tell me how this ITR B is required to verify ma? Yes, remember with a digital signature only. With a what ma? Digital signature only. So if any other SSE other than these three, if any other SSE is there other than these three, that other SSEs are required to verify. Yes, they can go with the first yes ma, electronic return with the what ma? Digital signature. They can go directly. Yes, electronic return with the digital signature, or they can go with the return they can transmit electronically. Yes, how they can file the return ma? Return they will send electronically. Return transmitted. Yes ma, return transmitted electronically. Yes, return transmitted electronically under electronic verification code. So there is no ITR V for verification. ITR V verification we can't do. That is physical verification you can't do. Electronically only we have to do e-verify the return which was filed under section 158 BC. Now some points I will tell you. Yes, some points I will tell you under this 158 BC return. Remember all of you, SSE shall disclose undisclosed income in this return. In this return, what he has to disclose for the block period? Undisclosed income. Yes, SSE shall disclose what? Undisclosed income. Previously, whatever the undisclosed income is there, that he can disclose in the return of income under section 158 BC. Now, you know already if any return file on that mandatorily we have to start the what processing. 100% of the returns must be processed under section 143(1), right? But on this return, processing is not applicable. Yes, sir. On this return of income, processing is not applicable. Is not applicable. See. Okay, if processing is not applicable, how we can verify the return filed for the block period? Directly, we can issue the notice under 143(2) for conducting the scrutiny assessment. There is no processing. Directly, which assessment will start on the return? Scrutiny. Yes, remember, Directly we need to start. Directly we need to start. Yes, scrutiny assessment. Yes, in detailed assessment, scrutiny assessment and other name regular assessment, section number 143.3 by way of issuing notice under section what 143.2. Now, if any return file within the time limits, we can revise those returns, right? If any return of income filed, we have a chance to do the revise of that return under time limits given under 139.5. But one return we can't revise, already we discussed it. If any return filed in response to the 142.1 notice, 142 notice when we can get after due date. In response to the in response to that 142.1 notice, if SSC filed a return that is final, we can't revise. But one more thing we can't revise. If any return filed in response to the 158 BC, this return also we can't revise. So in our entire discussion, now we discuss two returns cannot be revised. The first one is nothing but return filed in response to the 142.1 notice. Second one, return filed in response to the 158 BC notice. These two things cannot be revised. Once return of income filed under section 158 BC, it cannot be revised. It cannot be revised. Understood, all of you? All of you understood? Now, the main important point now I can insert. Main important point now I can insert. This return required to filed within time limit only. Okay, after filing the return, how to file the return, how to e-verify the return, and next we discuss some points related to return. But now within how much time we have to file the return? Yes, ma. They given clearly. If possible, you can write it down. Otherwise, you can write at the end also. Okay, that means after this also you can write. Remember, within specified time we have to file. Within what, ma? Specified time you have to file. But that specified time clearly they given not exceeding 60 days. Not exceeding how many days, ma? 60 days. Don't write it down, it hasn't 2 months. They given 60 days. Just write it down 16 days. Okay. Specified period they are saying, but specified period beyond 60 days you can't file. Now, yes, sir, beyond this time I filed, sir. Now we can discuss. Beyond this period, even though you filed also, if return filed, beyond this period, if any return filed, what we have to take? That is invalid. That is what, invalid. So you have to file within the specified time. What is the specified time? 60 days. Sir, this is on position before amendment. But I think we discussed it is covered under amendment, right? What is it, ma? 158B amended. What is it amendment? Undisclosed income amendment is there. Virtual digital asset added. 158 BC. This is only before amendment. But what is it amendment, sir? They given clearly. They given how much time? 60 days. For return filing, how many days they given before amendment? 60. After amendment also 60 only. But in 4 cases, how many cases, ma? 4 cases. Additional we can allow the 30 days. Generally 60. But I will tell you 4 cases. In those 4 cases, the specified time will be extended by how many days? 30 days. Shall we discuss? Yes. 1 or 2 minutes, we can close these things. Listen carefully. Time limit for submission of. What is that, ma? Time limit for submission of return of income under section 158 BC Yes, that is 158 BC return. We can call it as what, ma? Return of what, ma? Undisclosed income or disclosed? Undisclosed. Return of what, ma? Undisclosed income. Okay. So generally, how many days, ra? Generally, how many days? Generally, yes, ma, specified time they are saying. What is a specified time? That is 60 days. After giving the notice, within 60 days you have to file. But in the following cases, what is that? In the following cases, how many cases? Super. In the following cases, how many cases? I will tell you the reason also. Why they are extending the time limit in these 4 cases only, I will tell you. But you need to remember, in these 4 cases, we can get the extra time of how many days? 30 days. In the following cases, above specified period or above period, further extension, how many days? Extended by further how many days? 30 days. So that means totally how many days we can get in these 4 cases? 90 days. 60 plus 30. Don't write it down. It has 2 months, 1 month. In exam, they will give you that MCQs also. You have to remember, they will give you 30 days also, 1 month also. Which option you have to pick? 30 days only. If they are given the 2 months, you have to pick the what? 60 days. Act given the months you have to take. Days you have to take. Here they given as an days. Yes. So what are the 4 cases? I will tell you tomorrow. I think there is no evening session. If 1 hour or half an hour are given the class early break, no, then I will come directly. Half an hour also I will come. Yes. Thank you. Yes. In block assessment concept, first we discussed the 2 definitions. One is an block period. Second one is an undisclosed income. Then after we started the 158 BC. What is the section number? 158 BC. Procedure for block assessment. First, AO will send the notice for filing of the return of income for the block period. Within how many days they are required to file? 60 days. After 60 days, if they file, that is treated as invalid. In which ITR form they are required to file? ITR B. So digital signature as well as electronic verification, anything is also available. Specific SSCs, digital signature only. The remaining SC, digital signature or electronic verification code, anything also available. And after filing this return, directly what was scrutiny assessment only, there is no processing. In this return, which income they will disclose? Undisclosed income. Next, once this return is filed, it cannot be revised. Generally, time limit available for filing this return, how many months, ma? So 60 days, not months also, 60 days. Now, in some cases, the 60 days time limit can be what? Extended. 60 days time limit can be extended. Shall we discuss in how many cases, ma? 4 cases. The time limit can be extended. One by one, we can write it down. The first one. Previous year, immediately preceding to, please write it down along with me. Previous year, immediately preceding to the previous year in which search or requisition initiated. Simply search or requisition initiated year immediately preceding previous year. Please check. Yes, sir. For that previous year, yes, ma'am. The due date for furnishing return of income has not expired. In our example, when the search or the seizure conducted, previous year 25, 26, right? Yes, if you are taken the block period, when they conducted the search as well as the seizure, previous year 25, 26. Okay. Please check it out this data. 18/9/2025. Okay. Immediately preceding to this previous year, can you tell me? What is that immediately preceding to the previous year, ma? Huh? 24 annavra. Previous year 24-25. This assessment year is what, pra? 25-26. What is the return of income due date if tax audit was there? Huh? Yes, tax audit was there. Tell me. 31st. That date year also 31st October 2025. Can you tell me? This SSC can file the return on or before this date. Okay. Now, if you observe, search concluded on this date, they send the notice also on this date for filing what, ma? Return. But remember, still I haven't chance to file the return. That is only clearly. Previous year immediately preceding to the previous year in which search or requisition is initiated. Due date for filing of return of income is expired or not expired? Not expired. Search concluded in the month of September only. Search concluded in the month of what, ma? September only. Even though on this date, if you issued the 158 BC notice also, but SSC can feel, I haven't much time left for filing of return of income for this year. So in that case, not only 60 days, further how many days extension we can give? How many days? Okay. Suppose search concluded in December. Then, is there any time limit is there? No. December means already return of income due date expired. So that's why how many days we can give? 60 days only. There is no extension of how many days? 30 days. Simply remember, for any of the previous year preceding to the previous year in which search or requisition is initiated, sir, maximum this point is possible immediately preceding 1 year only. If you are taken the another immediately year, already return of income due date is expired. Maybe it is possible for that 1 year immediately preceding to the previous year. If the return of filing for return filing related due date is not expired, then give the additional time for how many months? How many days? 30 days. Second one. Amendment at this point. Before amendment, only this content is there. What is the amendment to this section? These 4 cases only they added. Based on these 4 cases, in every section we got an amendment. Next, ma. B point. SSC if liable for tax audit, already introduced. Then only these things possible, right? If there is no tax audit, what is the due date? July. Easily, due date will expire only before completion of search itself. So that's why clearly they are saying, if SSC liable for which audit? Tax audit. SSC if liable for, SSC is liable for tax audit under section 44AB for any previous year. For any previous year. Any ma here. For any previous year, if he is liable for tax audit, then automatically 158 BC return can be filed within how many days? 90 days, not 60. How many days, ma? Within 90 days. Next, third point, the books of accounts of person. The books of accounts of such a previous year have not been audited, on the date of issuance of notice. On the date of issuance of notice. Yes, ma. B point, remember, if already completed the tax audit for any of the previous year, this point is nothing but what, ma? Tax audit is not at all completed for that one previous year. Books of accounts not audited on the date of issuance of what, ma? Notice. Exactly last year, they issued notice. But there is a due date for tax audit report submission. Simply tax audit completed also, for any year tax audit pending also, then what is the time limit they can extend? 60 days. Tax audit completed, tax audit pending. Last point, D point. If an SSC request, connecting point to the C. Yes, ma, connecting point to the C. SSC requests. If an SSC request in writing Yes, who is an asking for an extension right now, Ra? For extension of time limit, for extension of what ma? Time limit. Why they will ask? So that he may get his books of accounts audited. He may get such accounts audited. Ma, can you tell me these two are connecting or not? Yes. If any tax audit was pending, okay, yes, simply we can say if any audit was pending, yes, I can give extension. But this extension can be possible with the application of whom? SSE only. Why he is asking for extension of time limit for 30 more days for completion of the Vatra audit? But remember these 4 points. These 4 points will link with the other sections also. We can discuss slowly one by one. 4 cases, simply you can remember the return of income due date is not expired. They given the notice for filing the 158 BC within 60 days now. If I am checking, but still I haven't due date for filing of return of income for that immediately preceding previous year to in which such or requisition initiated. So tax audit already done, tax audit pending. For pending tax audit completion, he want an extension of time limit for completion of what audit. In these cases, how many extra days they will allow? 30 days. Understood? So up to now, one section we concluded. What is the section we concluded, ma? Sorry, 2 sections concluded. 158B done, 158 BC also done. 158B done, 158 BC also what ma done. 158B, 158 BC. Paka. Navra. So next we can start the section number 7 marks scope also there for asking a question. 158 BB. 158 what ma? BB. Listen, very very important. Next section I will tell you one question also regarding this section. Tell me 158 BB. Tell me ma, what is that heading? Already we given computation of total income of what ma? Simply here we are calculating the undisclosed income. Simply here we are computing what ma? Undisclosed income. Yes, computation of total income of what ma? Okay. Computation of total income of block period. Sir, simply this is only assessment. It is only what ma? Assessment. You know already what do you mean by the block period also? For block period, AO want to get a return from the SSE. That's why which notice they sent ma? 158 BC notice sent. Already SSE file written. In some cases 60 days. In 4 cases, how many days? 90 days time period we given. In that return, SSE will declare the what for block period. If any undisclosed income is there, he will disclose everything in that return, right? Now, the next continuation is 158 BB will start. Yes, 158 BB given the methodology. Please write it on ma. Section 158 BB given methodology for. Yes sir, methodology for computing the. Yes ma, computing the total. Here I am using the word total undisclosed income. Total undisclosed income of which period ma? Lifetime, right? No, for block period. Sir, very easy. Ma, before amendment they given nonsense in this provision. Nonsense means nothing but you have to by heart, otherwise you will not remember with the logics also. Much nonsense they given before amendment. Now after amendment they will simplify everything in an easy way and logical way. First they are saying what is a total undisclosed income. First they are saying the aggregation of these 2 things only. The aggregation of what ma? 2 things. Aggregation of following only shall be treated as total undisclosed total undisclosed income of block period. Income of block period. So they're clearly saying please aggregate the following things. If you aggregated the following things, we can get what ma? Total undisclosed income. Total undisclosed income. What are the things we have to aggregate? I will tell you in a detailed way. Particulars and amounts. How many things they are saying? Only two things. If you are added these two things, whatever that amount you will get, that is only the total undisclosed income. Yes, sir. First one, undisclosed income. What is that, ma? Undisclosed income. Declared in, tell me, declared in return of income under section 158 what BC. Sir, who is declaring these things by SSC? Whatever that undisclosed income declared in the return by the SSC, please take that. Suppose he declared the 3 crores in the return for that entire block period. Himself he given the clarity. He have an undisclosed income for the block period. How much ma? 3 crore. Now, you have to do the assessment. That means verification of whatever the return. I think you followed the scrutiny assessment on this return, right? Afterwards, you identified 60 lakh. Is there an additional undisclosed income? Who identified this 60 lakh? Yevo. 3 crore plus 60 lakh. Totally 3 crore 60 lakh only. Total undisclosed income. Yevo, SSC declared. But again, after assessment, what you computed separately, what you means nothing but Huma, Yevo, altogether that is only undisclosed income totally. Before, they given the 7 points, that 7 points if you aggregated, you will get undisclosed income. Why we need to follow the 7? Just what he declared, what we identified, totally what? Undisclosed total income. Second one, undisclosed income determined by Huma. Anna, undisclosed income determined by Yevo. How much? In our example, 60 lakh. Totally 3 crore 60 lakh. Understood? Again. So total undisclosed income of the block period we computed finally. Now I have a doubt. Sir, at what rate I required to pay the tax on this? Any idea? Please tell me, ma. Total undisclosed income. Total undisclosed income related to which period? Block period. Yes, related to the block period shall be chargeable to tax. Shall be chargeable to tax at the rate of 60%. Important MCQ. How much ma? 60%. Within the bracket I am written it as an as increased by surcharge. As increased by surcharge. If you refer other books, they will say there is no surcharge. But remember, surcharge is there. As increased by the surcharge plus what ma? Health and education says at the rate of 4%. Ma, in many books you can see there is no surcharge. Yes, as of now there is no surcharge. But in future they can add surcharge also. It is still 60%. But they given the surcharge, I think surcharge can be levied or leviable in certain cases by using some other sections in ACTA. But clearly here they are given an option to add the surcharge to 60%. But as of now the surcharge rate is what? 0. You can remember, present surcharge rate they are not levying, but they haven't power to add the surcharge to the 60% also. As of now, what is the surcharge? 0. Clear? Next, one important note point, ma. Already you know, if you have an undisclosed income, in basic concepts itself we discussed this point. If you have an undisclosed income, on that undisclosed income, tax we have to pay directly. Can I set off any business loss against the undisclosed income? Can I set off any unabsorbed depreciation against the undisclosed income? No. If any undisclosed income is there, on that undisclosed income we have to pay the tax directly by using the flat rates. There is no set off of earlier year losses also, earlier years depreciations also. Here also the same point. You got undisclosed income, flat 60% you have to pay the tax as increased by the surcharge as well as health and education cess. They are not giving any losses set of treatment. So that only we can write it down it as a note point now. Yes, please try to continue, ma. Note point, what is that? Any brought forward losses, what is that, ma? Any brought forward losses or unabsorbed depreciation for within the bracket, ma, for previous year before block period not allowed against what, not allowed to set off against what? Undisclosed income. If any undisclosed income is there, on that you have to apply the flat rate. So can be set off or cannot be set off? Cannot be set off. What are the things? Unabsorbed depreciation also, earlier year losses also. Understood all of you? Now, this is only that important content. Listen carefully. I will given time to copy also. Just I am leaving this one page gap. After that, I am taking the example for your understanding. Based on this example, the remaining provision I will complete. Okay. Please check the block period definition. Block period definition, please check. In that block period definition, I taken the such initiated date, such concluded date, right? Please tell me what is that such initiated date? Such initiated date is 13th. మిమ్మల్ని అడగడం బొక్కరా, గొర్రెలు వచ్చినట్టు దొరుకుతారు. 30th May 1995, right? 25. Such initiated date, okay. Such concluded date, yes, remember concluded date, another name also they can give in exam. What is that, ma? Last authorization for such was executed. What is that? 18th September 2025. Which previous year? 25, 26. Which assessment year? 26, 27, right? Okay, what is that block period for this? Tell me, ma. Immediately preceding 6 years. Immediately preceding 6 years. Okay, I will write it down. What are that immediately preceding 6 years, ma? Previous year, 20, 24, 25, previous year, 23, 24, previous year, 22, 23, previous year, 21, 22, previous year, 20, 21. Yes, ra. Next, previous year, done. Sir, one more period we have to add, right? What is the period we have to add? First day of the year, that is 1/4/2025 to 18/9/2025. Paka? Okay. This is only we can call it as what? Block period. But now I want to make some change. Listen carefully. What is that period we have to write, ma? First day of the previous year to such concluded date, right? Right, ra? Now I am asking the one small change, ra? Yes, 1/4/2025 to, okay, 1/4/2025 to, yes, date immediately preceding to the such initiated, please take. I want to write it down this period only here, ra. No doubt in that. I am writing this total period, this is only, but I am doing breaking down. How I am doing the breaking down, ma? First day of the year to such initiated immediately preceding day. Please tell me what is that immediately preceding day, ma? 29/5/2025. Now, such initiated date to such concluded date. Such initiated date to, yes, ma, such concluded date. Search initiated date to search concluded. Finally, here also I am writing the total only, but I am classifying into what ma? Two ways. Understood? Ma, this is only block period, but just I am classifying the period up to that initiation of search, after search to the search conclusion. Now, every year, I think you know, we have to file the what ma? Return of incomes, right? We have to file, okay, previously in past we already filed this some return of incomes, that return of incomes related assessments also done. Okay, some example I will take. This year related return of income we filed. This year related return of income we filed. On that, yes, if you are filed the return, just processing done. What is that ma? Processing done. This year return also we filed. Yes ma? Just scrutiny assessment is done 143.3. That means whatever the return we filed for this year, income tax department accepted our return or rejected our return? Accepted. So that means whatever we filed, simply they accepted after the completion of what ma? Assessment. Next, this year related ma, department sent 142.1 notice. Which notice ma? 142.1 notice. Why they will send the 142.1 notice? Can you tell me? After due date also, if you are not filed the return, they will ask the return for that year. Yes, now in response to this notice, we filed the 139 subsection 1 return. We filed the what ma? Return of income. Okay. We filed the what ma? Return of income. So that means automatically AO send the notice for filing return of income. Yes, we filed the return of income. Next, now tell me, this year maybe they conducted the 144 assessment. This year maybe they conducted the what ma? 144 assessment or 147 assessment. What is that? Income escapement. We not filed the return, directly they started the assessment. So every year they can start different assessments. Now, 24-25. What is that ma? 24-25. Due date still available for me for filing the return, right? Tax audit was there. If tax audit was there, then my due date is what? 31st October 25. Yes, search concluded in the September month. After this also, I have how many months time? Nearly 1.5 month time available for me for filing the return of income. Then I will file my return separately. Then, yes sir, I have a chance to file the return. I can file this return later years. Sorry, later some days also. Then how you can call this as an undisclosed income? This year, I have some more time limit available for filing of return. Here every year related returns are, yes ma, filed or not filed, and assessments also done. If anything is not done properly, you can call that incomes as an undisclosed income. But this year, due date itself or not at all expired, I will file the return as per my due dates. But how you can call this year related income as an undisclosed income? Now I will write it on. Due date under section 139.1 is expired or not expired? Due date under section 139.1 not expired. Some students are asking the point here, sir, can I take the belated return due date also? Okay, you can take. If return not filed within the due date, maybe you can file the return as per the what belated return time limits also, but you can't follow the updated return. Why? If such cases are done, updated return you can't file. The first and foremost condition for updated return, in such cases we cannot file the updated return. One student, I think 2 days back only, he asked the doubt, sir, here the due date means, what are the due dates? Simply section 139 due dates. It includes the what belated due dates also. Understood? Sir, this year related return itself not filed. This year related return itself not filed. Now, in this period, remember, in this period, if any income, if I earn, when I will pay the tax in assessment year? Not in this year, right? In assessment year, I will pay the tax. But this everything is closed. But here, these things, how can I know what is that income? on this thing on the basis of what ma books only. On the basis of what ma books of accounts. I can calculate the income whatever I earned between these dates. During that what ma search initiated year, yes, whatever that income I earned on the basis of what ma books. On the basis of what ma books. Can you treat this is an undisclosed income? No. Why? Next year, that is nothing but in assessment year, I will file the return. I don't know how much income I earned during this year also till now, when I will pay the tax in the next year. So if you remember this example, now you can understand the everything in a better way. Now, we taken one thing, I think how much amount here in example we discussed, it is an 3 crores he disclosed, right? 300 lakh. AO identified how much 60 lakh. Totally how much? 360 lakh, right? We discussed this is only. Now, AO SSC declared the things, right? Then how he can compute the 60 lakh? Now I will tell you. Very, very important, In this above, yes, following things shall not be included. In act, they given it as a negative list. What is that, Negative list to the what, undisclosed income. What is that? Negative list to the undisclosed income. If any income falls within this negative list, that is not an undisclosed income for the block period. Okay, now I will tell you everything easily. 30 lakhs. How much, 30 lakh. 1920 related. Return I file. Processing also done, means already I paid the tax on, how much income related tax 30 lakh related tax already I paid. So that's why this 30 lakh is undisclosed or disclosed? Disclosed. Maybe I paid the tax on 25 lakh only. After processing they asked on how much 30 lakh. Next I will say scrutiny assessment 80 lakh related tax we paid. That's why how much is disclosed? 80 lakh. Here they asked return of income. I filed the return of income, means on how much amount already I paid tax? 120 lakh. Here income escapement assessment done. On that income escapement assessment order given, and they collected tax on 150 lakh. That means, can you tell me these are undisclosed incomes or disclosed incomes? Disclosed. So that's why please add it to the negative list. Please add it to the negative list. Now I will write it down one by one. Just listen, easily you will get the clarity after 2 to 5 minutes. Listen carefully. The first, total income determined under section. Listen. Total income determined under section. I will write it on 143.1, 143.3. Yes, processing, scrutiny, best judgment assessment, income escapement assessment, and this 153C is block assessment in the before amendment 1/4/2021. Before we can do the what block assessment, right? That section number. Yes, income determined by using the sections means in respect of these things already we paid tax or not? In respect of any previous year, yes, related to what block period. Now tell me, related to block period, 1 year processing done. What is that year processing done 30 lakh, that is 1920. 1 year scrutiny assessment done. What is that year 2021. Next 1 year BJA or income escapement done. How much 150 lakh. Can you tell me now these 3 years related I paid tax properly? This is undisclosed income, undisclosed, disclosed income. So that's why we are throwing to these 3 incomes in the negative list. So because as per assessment order I paid tax, this is undisclosed income or undisclosed? Disclosed income. That's why negative list. Second point in the negative list I will add. What is that second point? Total income. Yes, total income declared in. Total income declared in return of income under section 139 or return filed. Voluntarily you file the return or return filed in response to the one section notice. Can you tell me, ma? Return file in response to the section 142 subsection 1 of any previous year related to what, ma? Block period. Related to block period. So now in our example, which year return we filed in response to the block period? 120 lakh. That means on 120 lakh properly I paid tax. Then how you can call this as an block undisclosed amount? So that means based on first 2 points, these years related things are disclosed or undisclosed? Disclosed. That's why we excluded in the what, ma? We excluded it from the undisclosed things. Understood, all of you? Now, third one, very important, listen. Third one. Simple, ma, assessments done, return filed properly. These are not an undisclosed income. So that's why we classified in that what, ma? Negative list. Third one, income computed by SSE. Income computed by who? SSE in respect of previous year. In respect of previous year, where such, remember, where such previous year ended. Yes. Here, tell me, ma, this previous year ended or not ended? Ended. Because we are on these dates, right? So this year ended. And we computed income also. But due date expired or not expired? Not expired. Still I haven't chance to file the return. If I am filing, that is not an undisclosed. Because before filing of return of income, how you can decide it is an undisclosed income? I haven't chance to file the return after few days, then I will file. So income computed by the SSE in respect of previous year, where such previous year is ended or not ended, ma? Ended. And due date for furnishing of return of income. Yes, ma. Due date for furnishing of return of income of previous year expired or not expired? Has not expired. Has not expired. Means up to now, based on the first point, we excluded this assessments done. Next, return filed based on second point. Based on third point, we excluded this also. What is that? Previous year ended, income computed by SSE, but due date has not expired. Done. Now, fourth and fifth point, easily you can write it down. Fourth and what, ma? Fifth point. In the fourth and fifth point, I am concentrating on these. In fourth and fifth point, I am concentrating on this first period, first day of the previous year to date immediately preceding date to that what, ma? Search initiated. Next one, ma, search initiated date to search concluded date. Ma, in between these days, if any income earned, how we can compute the income based on books of accounts only, because year is not at all ended. Here year ended completely. Here year ended or not ended, ma? Not ended. So that's why here itself not ended means in assessment year you can file return. There is a chance to file the return in which year, ma? Next year. If I am not filing on that time, you can decide that is an undisclosed. Now itself you don't have any right to call this income based on the books as an what, ma? Undisclosed. That's why now I want to throw these two also to that what, ma? Negative list. So that's why here the fourth and fifth point, ma, income computed. How income computed? Based on what, ma? Books. Income computed by SSE on the basis of books of accounts. On the basis of what, ma? Books of accounts related to period, related to tell me. Yes, 1/4 of an previous year to what date? Date immediately preceding to what, Anna? Date immediately preceding to search or requisition initiated. Requisition what, ma? Initiated. Understood, ra? Ma, in this example, now we written this period only as an what ma? Fourth point. This period. Next fifth point I will write it on this period. The same I will write it on. Income computed by the SSC on that what ma? Basis of books of account related to, can you tell me related to which date? Search initiated date. Yes ma? Date of search or requisition initiated or to date of search or requisition concluded. Requisition concluded. Ma, understood? These are all are not treated as an undisclosed income. Ma, few points I will tell you. You do. I am say okay. I can say clearly. You have to remember these points. There is no logic behind these also. But okay, if there is a logic also, you can understood these things after some other chapters like a non-resident others. So that's why I will tell you 3 more points in this negative list. Amma. If it is false in the negative list, this is not an undisclosed income, right? Okay. Sixth one, please write it down. Yes, ma. Total income referred in, ma. Total income referred in, section 194p. Any one of you, please tell me. 194p, where we discussed, TDS, okay, but where we discussed in return of income, specified senior citizen not required to file the return of income if the following conditions are satisfied, right? But generally, specified senior citizen means 75 years or more person. If he is a resident and having the how many years or more? 75 years or more. If you having only 2 incomes, what are the 2 incomes? Pension income as well as interest on deposit. If these 2 incomes also if credited to the same bank account, that is only what must specified bank, automatically the specified bank will do the TDS. That means they will collect the tax on the income whatever they have in their bank accounts. That means tax already paid by the specified senior citizen completely. How you can treat this as an undisclosed? Return is not required to file. In assessment year, specified senior citizen not required to file return, but already he paid tax in that which year? Previous year only, by using which concept? TDS under section 194p. By way of not filing the return of income, can you treat it as an undisclosed? No. You don't have any right to treat this as an undisclosed, even though he is not filing the return, because Act itself given the relaxation for not filing the return of income. Because already we paid tax, that's why how you can treat it as an undisclosed income, that's why we given this in the negative list. Understood? My example, we are not filing the returns, then undisclosed only. Specified senior citizen is not filing the return, no problem. Why? Already he paid tax, we given the relaxation, that's why he is not filed the return. 7th and 8th points. 7th and 8th point. My total income referred in section number 115A. These are the special incomes for the non-resident. Okay, special incomes for the whom? Non-resident. If you have any doubt, yes, just you can open the concept book relating to non-resident chapter for 1 minute. Okay, I will show you. No need to open. Non-resident related special incomes we have. That is page number 204. 115, if you remember all these sections, 115, these are all the sections are non-resident related special incomes. Automatically, whatever the tax rates here we have, the same tax rate can be applied in TDS. That means entire tax we are collecting in the form of TDS. So that's why, okay, they have to file their returns, they will pay the tax also in assessment year, but entire amount of tax, how we can collect it? By using TDS rates. So that's why if these type of incomes are there, please don't treat it as an undisclosed. Entire tax already we collected in the form of TDSs. Last one, 115G. Total income referred in section 115G. It is also non-resident related only. Okay. 115G. Yes, ma. Remember, it is applicable for NRI, non-resident Indian, ma. Non-resident Indian. If you opted the NRI provisions, certain cases, no need to file the return. If I am not filing the return, can you treat it as an undisclosed? No. In 115G, non-resident, that to NRI, not required to file what, ma? Return. The reason already TDS deducted properly, I paid tax in the form of TDS only. They given an option to file the what, ma? No need to file the return. If I am not filing the return, can you treat it as an undisclosed act? Given the option to not file the return. That's why I am not at all filing the return. Can you treat it as an undisclosed? No. This is what, ma? NRA. If anyone given the reference of these logics, you can believe them directly. Why these are all not undisclosed? Already tax deducted at the source properly during the previous year. So that's why in these cases clearly act saying that no need to file the return. Return is not required to file. If return is not filed, please don't treat this as an undisclosed. Why? If tax not paid, you can treat undisclosed. Here already we paid what? Tax. Understood? This is for NR. This is for whom? Specified senior citizen. Now, sir, negative list I understood, sir. Block period related here return you are not filed. That means for this entire block period, while filing the return of income, you disclosed how much amount in your return? 300 lakhs. Yes, you filed the return under 158 BC. Which year that is? Mostly 23-24. Return time limit expired. But you are not filed the return intentionally. Means this is an what? Undisclosed. You disclosed undisclosed income under section 158 BC return. How much you disclosed, ma? By SSC. How much? Now, on this return scrutiny assessment will be conducted, right? After scrutiny assessment, extra AO identified how much, ma? 60 lakh. Totally, this is only undisclosed income for the block period. Anna. Sir, various reasons. Okay, example, this year related return also not filed. Now he will include this also in that what, ma? BC return. 158 BC return. For covering everything. Okay, assessments done. This is assessment done means what, ma? Already this is undisclosed income. Exclude from the undisclosed. Next, yes, notice related return filed or return filed properly. It is a disclosed one. Exclude from the undisclosed. Next one, ma? Previous year ended, but return of income filing due date still there. So that's why I will file my return. Why you are hurry? Then it is also not an undisclosed, because in future I will file return. I will disclose everything in that return. So that's why it is not an undisclosed. Previous year is not ended. On the basis of books of account, whatever that income is there, it is also not an undisclosed. In assessment year, I will file the return. And 194P, 115 section incomes, 115G section, these are all not an undisclosed income. Simply, if you are not filed the return, yes, that year related things only you will file in the block. Yes, in this return you will declare the how much, ma? 300 crores. Example, AO added how much, ma? 60 lakh. Totally this is only undisclosed. Up to now, if you have any doubt, yes, you can ask. Okay, if you understood somehow, we can discuss problem directly. There is no question on this, but we taken from other books, that is nothing but Singhania, etc. We taken some questions related to block assessment. We don't have any questions in CA also, CMA also based on block assessment, but we taken some 1 or 2 questions from them, Singhania material. Shall we start that question? First, understood these years, break it down. You have to remember. So some years can be excluded by way of which reason from the undisclosed. But in exam also you have to remember aggregation of 2 things only treated as what, ma? Undisclosed. The remaining negative list, how many points are there also you have to remember in deep way. Now, immediately I will solve the one question from the workbook. Anna, please open the workbook related to search and seizure and survey. I think till now we didn't discuss any question. In this chapter, till now we didn't discuss any question. First we discussing the question number, yes ma, question number 20. Last question directly. Shall we discuss last question? Question number 20. On December 8, 2025, IT department conduct the search under 132. Office or residence of Mr. X is a resident individual. They given the last day of authorization of search was executed. What is that meaning? Search concluded. Search initiated date they given. Search concluded date also they given clearly. Now, he provides the details of income admitted for the assessment years up to assessment year 24-25. Okay. So simple ma. He indirectly they given the hint up to which assessment year he filed the return ma 24-25. Sir, as well, undisclosed income of block period also admitted by him under which section ma 158 BC. I think you know we can send the notice under 158 BC. In response to that notice, they will file the return of income. In that return of income, what they will disclose ma undisclosed income of the block period. Now, whatever they disclose, that is final, or AO will recompute it. AO will recompute it. That is only they given. Additionally, the total income for each year, the AO also determined as follows. They given clearly. Yes, ma. Now, before going to this question, all of you, please tell me what is that question number 20? Question number 20. Super. Now, what is the search initiated date and search concluded date? Tell me. Okay. Search initiated date. Ma, what is that? 8th 12 2025. Search concluded. Ma? 10th January 2026. Previous year 25-26. Assessment year 26-27. Right? Now, please tell me the block period. Okay. Please tell me the block period. In exam also, don't do the overaction. Everything you have to write it down clearly. Okay. Yes, please tell me immediately 6 years, right? What is that first year? Ma? 24-25. Previous year? 23-24. Next previous year? 20? 22-23. Previous year? Previous year? Next? Enough. 6 years enough. Now, okay, for easy purposes, I want to write it down. This related assessment years, because in the question they given in that what ma assessment year forms, right? So that's why I will write it down what ma assessment years in side by side. Tell me what is that assessment year? Ray. 25. Assessment year. 20. Next. 23. Next. Assessment year. 22-23. Next. 21-22. Assessment year. 20-21. Right? But we have to add this some more period. So normally search initiated, first day of the previous year to search concluded date. But in that last discussion we identified this period, we can break it down into how many parts ma? 2 parts. Can you tell me what are the parts one by one? Tell me first day to the yes, this is important ma. Many of you can do the mistake. 1/4/2025 to search initiated immediately preceding date. What is that ma? 7/12/2025. Search initiated date to search concluded date. Dana? Ma? 10/1/2026. Right? Now, clearly in the question they said up to which year they file the returns? 24, 25. That means clearly they given here also. Please check the question. Returns filed for this 2021, 21, 22, 22, 23, 23, 24, 24, 25. Means returns filed up to this only, right? Huh? Yes. Now I will write it down. What happened also. Listen carefully. If you file return, here assessment, which assessment done? Here scrutiny assessment. Here maybe what ma? Processing. Now remember, I am talking about the years related to return which was filed. Total income declared by the SSC in the return. How much you declared? Yes, maybe in lakhs you can assume 25 lakh, 35 lakh, 36 lakh, 10 lakh, 30 lakh. Total how much ma? 136. Every year you declared in your return. Remember, but you declared this thing, but total undisclosed income declared by the SSC in return of income under 158 BC. How much ma? 35, 50, 62, 15, 60. Yes, total how much ma? 222. So that means how much undisclosed income declared for these years by the SSC? Again, please tell me how much ma? 222 is declared by the SSC directly. Even though he filed return, yes ma, he declared this is only in that assessment. They accepted also. But when they are given a chance to file the return under this section, how much he disclosed for every year? 322. Now, this will be directly accepted? No. Now, SSC declared this. Now, AO identified additionally how much? 370. Sir, for which years ma this one? Yes, if you observe 158 BC return filed by the SSC. Yes ma, under section 158 BC return filed by whom ma? SSC. For these are all the years. Totally how much he disclosed undisclosed income ma? 222, right? Please remember how much? 222 lakh he clearly given as an undisclosed in that return. But after that, after completion of an assessment, AO given the how much undisclosed separately for these years? 370. They clearly saying that yes, you disclosed 222, but in addition to the 222, how much identified by the AO? 370. My block period is only these years and few more years are there. Few more years also there. Ma understood? Next, we can start the further return of income not filed up to December 2025. Ma, for this assessment year, what is the previous year? 24, 25. The return filing due date is still there for me. Why? I can file the belated return up to 31st March, 31st December 2025. Return of income due date is not expired for this year. What is that, ma? Return of income due date is not expired for this assessment year. Now, what is the thing? But still he disclosed the undisclosed income. How much ma? 7 lakh here. Yes, 20 lakh by AO. Yes, SSC is clearly saying that return of income, even though not filed also, yes, clearly he is saying that how much undisclosed income for these periods. This is an what ma? 7. Ma, sir, how you can say? In return, SSC only declared the how much ma? 7 lakh. But AO is additionally how much added? 20. Apart from 7, AO added 20. Can you tell me what you declared in the 158 BC total era? 229. What? Yes, ma? 229. Yes, what AO additionally added? 390. Sir, these two things only aggregatedly we can call it as what? Undisclosed total income. Whatever you filed in return, increased by AO. This is only what ma? Total undisclosed income. This is only what ma? 619 lakh. Now, in exam, if you are showing like this, Yes, ma. Sir, what about this period, sir? Clearly they given which is not at all declared in the return. Which is not at all declared in the return. That's why here what is that point we taken, ma? Nil. Because the previous year is not ended in assessment year, I will show you this return and return related tax also. Now, you have to write it on negative list clearly as a note point. You computed everything, but you have to show the what, ma? Negative list. Anna, can you tell me what is the negative list? Huh? Now I will tell you what is a negative list. Ma, clearly first I computed, I got also what? 619 lakh, right? We also got the same answer, 619 lakh. Total undisclosed income of the block period. On this, what is the tax rate we have to follow? 60% as increased by the surcharge as well as health and education says. Present surcharge is how much? 0. Now, undisclosed income. Ma, from this assessment year to this assessment year, we filed returns and this 136 lakhs related tax we paid or not paid? Paid. It is undisclosed? No. So that's why, please write it down. It is falls within the what, ma? Negative list. It is falls within the negative list. Next, can you tell me what? This year related return itself we are yet to be filed. If filed, how much I will disclose? 25. That is also what? Negative list. This period related, I think in our discussion also we written 4th and 5th point. What is that, ma? 4th and 5th point we discussed. Why? Income of the current previous year on the basis of books of accounts. Ma, first we written, if processing or scrutiny is not done, scrutiny is done, we excluded. How much we excluded? 136 lakh we excluded. Next, we excluded based on the what, ma? Previous year ended, but return of income is, so return of income for filing the is not expired. Within that, how much, ma? 25. Next, these two also we have to exclude. How much, ma? 12, 10. Total, total. No need to do the total. This shall not be included in the total income of the what, ma? Block period. Understood all of you? Sir, if they are given this type of question, easy, aggregate these two things because SSI declared, AO identified, these two only undisclosed. Are remaining this total, this is 136, this thing and this thing already you filed in the return. Remember, here they given the column, total income declared by the SC in ITR. That means up to these years you declared in ITR. Remaining, you presented everything in your books of accounts. Yes. You presented everything in your books means in future you will pay tax definitely. So that's why it is also what, ma? Negative list only. Understood? These on the basis of books. These are on the basis of what, ma? Return filed after that assessments done. Are 1 minute if they are given this type of questions you can do easily. If you know the concept then you can, otherwise how you can add the figures? Here return filed by the SSC, in that you disclosed this as an undisclosed income. Addition to that AO identified, yes, this total only, yes, 619 lakh you will get. It is only undisclosed income of the block period. What excludes based on the negative list? Yes, if return filed or assessments done, that is disclosed one, right? Exclude. Previous year ended, but return filing time limit still not expired, but you finalized that income in this B later return, you can disclose this. That's why it isn't what, ma? Disclosed one. And you presented your books of accounts for the previous year not ended. In that books, how much income you disclosed already? 22 lakh. So 12 lakh here, 12 lakh. If you observe first day to date immediately preceding to the search date to search concluded date. That means nothing but what which year, ma? Search conducted year. We are breaking down into the two parts. On that year, we maintain the books based on books, how much income you declared. These two. In assessment year, I will pay tax on this. Clear? So, what is the total income of the block period? Even though they are asking the block period total income also, definitely answer you have to write it down, which excludes from the undisclosed income of a block period also. Negative list, definitely you have to mention in an exam. Understood all of you? Yes. Finally, we discussed the second provision also. Finally, we discussed the what, ma? Second provision also. What is the second provision? Now, wait, ma. Just I can complete these things also. Yes, you filed these things, right? Okay. Then For these years already we filed the what ma? Return of incomes. Can you tell me in the return of income how much amount you declared throughout all the years ma? 136 lakh, right? Okay, this 136 lakhs shall not be included in the undisclosed income. Next, yes ma, this year 25 lakh shall not be included in the undisclosed income. And next, can you tell me how much ma? 12, 10. First 12, next 10. These things cannot be included in the what ma? Undisclosed income. Negative list. Now, how many provisions are done? Finally, 3 provisions are done. 158B definitions done. 158BC procedure for block assessment. Next 158BB computation of total income of the what ma? Block period. Shall we start one more section? Ma, if you discussed and if you written everything in a detailed manner, then the revision time can be saved. Otherwise, it is a big concept and most confusing concept for all of you. I'm expecting this block assessment in the upcoming examinations. That too, yes, if they are given the question number 20 in an exam, you have to get out of 7 you need to get. Okay, maybe they can change some way of asking the question, but they can give the same. And don't do by heart, just you can follow the provision. Next, what is that? Section number will start. Already we computed the total undisclosed income of the block period also. Now I will start the 158BE. I will start. What is that ma? 158BE. I will start. No. I will start the 158BD. 158 what ma? BD. Shall I? There is a reason. I will tell you the reason also why we are starting this. 158BD, undisclosed income of whom? Other person. 158BD, it is nothing but undisclosed income of whom? Other person. Get the heading? Section 158BD. Section 158BD. What is that concept ma? Undisclosed income of other person, right? Undisclosed income of other person. You know already, generally in my hands search or requisition is initiated. Then in my hands which assessment will initiate? Block assessment. But in my hands search or requisition initiated, other person undisclosed income identified. What our AO is required to do on that case? After conclusion of search within 60 days, these undisclosed assets of other person will be handed over to whom? Jurisdictional AO of such other person. I think under presumptions of search we discussed at this point. If any search initiated in your hands, okay, your assets identified. Okay, on you block assessment will start. Already we discussed first 158BC written, then after 158BB undisclosed income, how we can compute. But here matter is, in your hands my assets are identified. Your jurisdiction is Vijayawada, my jurisdiction is Hyderabad. Now your AO is required to do the handed over of my assets to me or my AO? My AO within how many days? 60 days. Understood? Already we discussed the same provision in the presumptions under search concept. Now, in the hands of other person also, we have to start which assessment? Block assessment. But twist is, search initiated in this person hands, okay, block assessment is okay. If any search or requisition initiated, block assessment. Here, in his hands, is there any search initiated? Requisition initiated? Anything conducted? No. Still he is liable to go for which assessment? Block assessment. Why? His assets are found during the search over other person. While doing the search in the hands of one person, your assets identified means you also have in the undisclosed assets. That's why in your hands also department will initiate the block assessment. Clear? Yes, sir. Income of other person. Listen. So when this provision we will check, AO satisfies that. What is that, ma? AO satisfies that. Please write it down. AO satisfy that any undisclosed income. What is that, ma? Any undisclosed income belongs to any other person, these things shall be handed over to whatever the assets related to other person, these things shall be handed over to, tell me, whom? SSC or SSC jurisdictional AO? So jurisdictional AO, yes ma, jurisdictional AO of other person. Jurisdictional AO of whom? Other person. Already we know this point, we know in presumptions under search itself, right? Now this is only now important. AO already who received that assets from other AO, right? AO shall proceed what? Under section 158 BC against whom? Other person. Even though search not conducted in the hands of other person also, but your assets identified in the hands of whom? Other cases. Now AO will issue the which notice directly? 158 BC. Example, in your hand search initiated. If any undisclosed assets of you identified relates to you, block assessment will be there. But in your hands my assets are identified. In my hands there is no search as well as requisition. But in your hands search requisition initiated. In that case my assets are identified. Now your AO will hand it over that assets to my AO. Now my AO will issue the which notice to me? 158 BC notice. One point you have to remember. Without search, without requisition also, now block assessment initiated in the hands of other person. Block assessment, when it will initiate? If search or requisition initiated, then block assessment. But in the hands of other person, search conducted? No. Requisition initiated? No. Still we are going for that what? Block assessment. This logic you have to remember. Yes, 158 BC, against whom? Other person. Against whom? Other person. And on that other person, the provisions of which assessment will apply? Provisions of block assessment will apply. Super. Last year all are closing their eyes. I haven't doubt. On that time these points only they given. Last Finanaceact 24 they given these points only. Okay, I realized in some cases without search and seizure also we have to go for the block assessment. This is one example. In your hand search done. Okay, in your case block assessment will be reasonable. But in your case my assets identified means they are issuing directly which notice ma? 158 BC notice, right? That means without having the search and requisition in my hands, but still I am going for the which assessment? Block assessment. Exactly on that time I haven't doubt. What is the doubt? Okay. Suppose this search is happened in the hands of student. I will take example. Search happened, right? Search initiated date, search concluded date is there. Easily we can know the block period. Okay. If an SSC is student, easily I can calculate the student block period based on these dates, right? Okay. Now, in the hands of Bhaskar, is there any search conducted? No. Search is not at all conducted. But in the hands of student only, whose assets identified? Bhaskar assets identified. But for student block assessment purpose, I can calculate block period easily based on these two dates. Then what about Bhaskar block period? If search is there, you can calculate block period. But in the hands of Bhaskar, there is no search. On that time, I haven't doubt. The doubt is clarified in the Finanaceact 25. Many are saying, on that time, experts are saying that the same block period of student will apply for the Bhaskar. On that time, many are saying the same block period of student is there, right? The same block period also applicable for the other person. Simply, here student is an SSC, Bhaskar is another person. What is that block period means? Some are calculated the block period also. How they will calculate the block period without having the search and requisition? If search and requisition initiated concluded date is there, then we can calculate the block period. But in the hands of other person, there is no search. But why we are conducting the block assessment for this person? Just in the hands of student, this fellow assets identified. Clear? Now, finanaceact 2000, yes, 25 given the much clarity regarding this provision. Yes, now I will discuss that provision. Shall we? Yes. After this, I will give a break. After this, I will give a break. Okay. Please write it down along with me quickly. A point I am taking. Mr. A is a specified person. Why I am calling this as a specified person? In his hands only, search initiated. What is that, ma? In his hands only, search initiated on 8/12/2025. Search concluded date also I am given. Yes, on whose hands search initiated and concluded? Yes, that fellow is only called as specified person. This jurisdictional AO is there. Can you tell me whose assets identified in this case? Other person assets are identified. Other person is nothing but in our case we can take Mr. B. Now our AO is required to hand it over these assets to the jurisdictional AO of whom? Other person, right? Yes. In your hands, yes ma, search conducted. So that's why you have to follow the block assessment, right ra? Block assessment. Simple ma. Now what is a block period? Tell me, already we discussed 2 or 3 examples for how knowing the block period. I think previous year 1922, previous year 24-25, 6 years, immediately preceding years, right ra? Plus what is that period extra we have to add? 1/4/2025 to search concluded date 10/1/2026. For this block period, we have to do the block assessment. But now for other person also, we have to start the block assessment. In this person hands, there is no search as well as requisition. Still we are going to conduct the block assessment. Okay, in other person hands we want to do the block assessment. Now the biggest question, if search initiated and search concluded dates are there, we can compute the block period. Without a search, how we can compute the block period? Yes, no problem. They given the clarification in our act. Yes, in this case, whatever the block period is there, yes sir, they are given the block period, that is in previous year 1922, previous year 24-25, plus some extra time we have to add, that is nothing but this one only. Simply the block period of other person as it is same as whom? Specified person. Same as specified person. Somewhat everyone is taken the correct assumption only. Okay. Block period of specified person or SSE only will take as the same block period for the other person. Somewhat logical. Now I will create a confusion again. Intentionally I want to create the confusion. This understood all of you? Sir, why we are not calculating on our own? If search initiated or concluded dates are there, then we can calculate. Here there is no option. The same block period we have to copy and paste for him also for conducting the block assessment. Remember, these are the 2 separate assessment. In the hands of this person, separate assessment. In the hands of this person, separate assessment. We can send 158 BC notice here. Here also we have to send the 158 BC notice and return they will file, and you can calculate the total undisclosed income for the block period. Now I want to complicate the things in B point. If it is copied, please let me know. Copied? Yes. Now I will discuss the B point. I will write it down very quickly. Yes, please try to copy. Okay. Mr. A is there. Yes, is a specified person. Why I am taking the specified person? In his hands only search or requisition is initiated. Now I will give you search initiated date. Same dates I will take. Search initiated date. Search concluded date. Tell me search initiated date, search concluded date. Same date I will take. Same date I will take. Yes. Now definitely if search initiated or concluded on or after 1/9/2024, right? What is that assessment we have to start on? Block assessment. If we want to start the block assessment, what is the block period? Okay, last 6 years, the previous year 1922, previous year 24, 25 plus 1, 4, 2025 to 10, 1, 2026, right? Now, his AO will be there, but in his hands, whose assets are identified? Mr. B assets are identified. Now, our AO will hand it over these two things to the other person AO, but in the hands of other person also now which assessment is required to conduct? Block assessment. Block assessment. Yes. Now, hold on. Block period. You can say simply copy and paste of other person, specified person, right? Now, he's an worst than Azra. Remember, he's an very worst fellow. How? He is not maintaining one specified person. He is maintaining the second specified person also. Who is that? The Mr. K. Now, Mr. K is into picture. AO conducted the search. So, he is also specified person. In his hands, what happened? Search initiated. So, now, search initiated date. Search concluded date. Yes, randomly I am taking some dates. 30th 9 2024. 2024. 5/10 2024. Yes. Now, because search initiated in his hands, so definitely we need to go for the block assessment. If block assessment is there, what is that block period in this case? All of you please tell me. Block period, easily you can say previous year 18-19 to previous year 23-24 plus 1/4/2024, 24 to 5/10/2024. Now, these AOs will hand it over these assets to the other person AO. Now, which is in block period? How you can copy the paste of these two? Tell me, how? Whichever is later. Which period is later? Later means nothing but which one? I think Mr. A period only falls later. Now, you can take the block period is previous year 1922, previous year 24-25, yes, that is an 1/4/2025 to 10/1/2026. So nothing but the block period here we are dumping from the whose hands? The same period of or same block period of whom? Mr. A. Why we are taking the Mr. A? Whichever is what? Later. Now I will reveal that. However, if there are more than one specified person, sir, if only one specified person is there, there is no issue. We can copy the same period as a block period in case of other person. But when issue will arise, if there are more than one specified person, what do you mean by the specified person? In the hands of whom search or requisition initiated, that person only the specified person. Then the block period, yes sir, more than one is there, then block period of such other person. Now we are worrying about other person only. Yes, shall be same as, can you tell me? Shall be same as specified person. But who specified person? Specified person in whose case, the block period, in whose case the block period ends on what? Later date. Ends on later date. Can you tell me? Ending period, please check for these two. Yes, block period ends on what? Later date. Can you tell me here 10/1, here 5/10/2024, which one is ends on later date? This one. That's why Mr. A period only we copied in the hands of other person. Understood? Now block assessment we can conduct in the hands of specified person without any doubt, because in his hands search or requisition initiated. But in the hands of specified person, if any other person assets are found, in the hands of other person also, now we can start the block assessment. even though search or requisition not conducted in the hands of other person. Understood? Now here the question will come, what is a block period? Without knowing the search initiated and concluded date, how we can decide the block period in the hands of other person? The simply the same as an specified person. If more than one specified person is there, then what is a block period? Whichever is later. So ending date you can check, if whichever is later you can follow that clearly. Yes, take a break for 20 minutes. So now we can start the next section, that is 158BE. What is that 158BE content? Every assessment required to be completed within the limited time frame, right? What is the time limit for completion of block assessment also? But here you have to remember, the block assessment may be conducted in the hands of specified person as well as other person also. Within these two persons' hands, what is the time limit we have to discuss? Many are remembering only within the hands of specified person, but in exam they can ask within the hands of other person when we need to complete the block assessment. Shall we start 158BE? Important for an MCQ purposes also, time limit for completion of the block assessment. Shall we start? Yes. Give the heading separately. Section 158. 158BE. What is that BE? Time limit for completion of block assessment. So now here we have to know the how many time limits are two. One is for the specified person in the hands of any person. If search or requisition conducted, initiated, then what is the time limit? Some cases in the hands of other person also we want to conduct the block assessment, then what is the time limit? Shall we start? Yes. First we'll discuss the A point, specified person related time limit. I will tell you. Yes. Then after we'll discuss about the in the hands of other person, what is the time limit also. Okay. Sir, specified person means what, ma? Search or requisition done or not done? Done. Search or requisition done in the hands of person. In the hands of that person, search or requisition done. Now they given the time limit 12 months. What is that, ma? 12 months. From which date? From the end of the quarter, search concluded or requisition concluded from the end of the quarter. How many months, ma? 12 months. Okay. In our example, okay, can you tell me what is the search concluded date? Ma, please tell me what is the search concluded date in block period? 10th? In our block period, we taken one date, right? This I want to know. What is that, ma? 18/9/2025. 18/9/2025 is search concluded. What is at end of the quarter? Ma? 31st December 2025. From this, how many months time limit they given? Previously, they are expressing time limits in one way, but these are all are amended. What is the last date for completion of the block assessment? 31st March 2026. So how you can write it down in a normal way, ma? Within how many months? 12 months from end of the quarter, in which search or requisition concluded. Search or requisition concluded. Understood? Ma, I will tell you one point here. Sorry. This one. 30th? Yes. మీరు చెప్పింది రాసారు. 30th September is an end of the quarter. Then it is 30th 9/2026. మా క్వార్టర్ ఎండింగ్. ఓకే, ఇది కూడా తెలియదని నాకు ఇప్పుడే అర్థమైంది. Then I will write it down. The quarter means nothing but the first quarter ending with the 30th June. Second quarter 30th 9. third quarter 31st December, third quarter 31st December, fourth one 31st March, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Okay రా, చీప్ అనిపించలేదురా, అలాంటి సిగ్గేం లేదంటారు, సరే పర్లేదు. నెక్స్ట్ మా, already you know, generally in 4 cases, already we discussed starting of today's session, generally in how many cases ma, 4 cases, we give an extra time limit for filing of 158 BC return. If 158 BC return filed, then we can complete the assessment within this time limit. If they are filed the return early, then we can complete the assessment also early. But in 4 cases we give an extra 30 days, right? In that 4 cases, assessment also will get delayed. Or if you filed a 158 BC return, then we can do assessment. On that cases, yes, time limit is 12 months from the end of the quarter. But intentionally, they given how many months extra time? 30 days extra time they given. How many months extra time? 30 days. In assessment completion also, in those 4 cases, assessment required to be completed in how many months? 13 months. If return filing is extended, assessment for completion of assessment also can complete in what? Extension time. Shall we start? However, in certain cases, tell me. However, in certain cases, can you tell me that certain cases already we discussed, covered in which section? Covered in section 158 BC. How many cases? 4 cases. What are the 4 cases? Return of income filing, due date not expired, tax audit done, tax audit pending, SSE requested additional time for completion of what? Audit. Yes. Can you tell me in these cases what happened? Further period of 30 days extension. Further period of 30 days extension. 30 days what? Extension done for filing of what? Return. For filing of return. Now, in those cases, what is that assessment completion time limit? Yes, same thing I am doing, copy and pasted, but instead of 12 months, I will take how many months here? 13 months. Understood ra? In exam, this is an amended area, they will ask directly this one. All of you understood? When they can give the extra time limit? If you are given the extra time limit for filing of return, then definitely the department also wants to complete the extra time limit for completion of assessment. So now we have to discuss the time limit for completion of assessment in the hands of whom? Other person. Shall we discuss B point, other person? Yes. Can you tell me other person means, you know already under section 115 what? BD. Last section that is only 115 BD. Other person. If in the hands of other person assessment is started, when we have to complete the assessment? Listen carefully and you can open concept book also. Listen. Here one logic we have to remember. Here search done, so that's why time limit started from the what? Search concluded date. Here search is there or not there? Not there. Then time limit will start in different way. Here search concluded date is there in the person hands. So that's why time limit also initiated from the search concluded date. But here in the hands of other person, is there any search or seizure or requisition? No. Then time limits how? Any idea? Yes ma, time limits how? Any idea? Simple. The time limit will be, yes ma, time limit will be from the 158 BC notice. What is that ma? 158 BC notice we will issue against the whom? Other person. 158 BC notice we can issue to the other person based on that only. Yes, you can check the period of limitation of completion of time limit for the block period in the case of other person referred in which section? 158 BD. 12 months only here also, but end of the quarter only here also. But from the such concluded date or notice issued date? Notice issued date. Notice issued date, quarter ending, how many months? 12 months. Here also, can you tell me extension of how many months they can give? 1 month. Understood? In which cases, ma? 4 cases. Extension of 1 month here also given. Shall we write it down that point? In the hands of other person, the time limit is started from the, just we can take the 158 under section 158 BC, notice issued to whom? Space other person, exactly we can take 31st, not 31st, 12/12/2025. Exactly 12/12/2025. What is at end of the quarter? End of the quarter, 31st December 2025. From these, how many months they given? 12 months. What is the 12 months? 31st December 2026. Can you tell me how we can write it down these things in and frame? Within how many months? Within 12 months from end of the quarter, in which section 158 BC notice was issued. Ma, understood? Now I can write it on the same point again. In some cases we can give the what, ma? Extension of time limit, right? Extension of time limit given for the filing of what? Return. If filing return was done in a delayed manner, now assessment also can be completed 1 month delayedly. That means this extension of time limit of 1 month is given for the specified person also, other person also. Understood? If you don't know these 4 points in 158 BC, here you will not understood. Generally specified time for filing of return under 158 BC, how many days? 60 days. But in 4 cases, they give an extra time limit of how many days? 30. So automatically, that 4 cases related SSEs can get the extension of time limit also for completion of assessment by how many days? 30 days. That is simply here they taken it as an 1 month. Understood, all of you? Remember, the many are remembering only one time limit. No. Specified person time limit is different. Other person time limit is different. Specified person time limit initiated from such concluded date. Other person time limit started from notice date. Done? Or is it easy to understood by using the revision class or marathon? Nearly 90% of the CMA final students are relying on the revision classes or marathons only. Again I am saying, okay, some of them may be qualified. Most of them will remain unqualified in those attempts because of these reasons only. Okay, if you know already, then you can go for revision, no problem. Nothing wrong in that. Already if you completed coaching perfectly or somewhat, then you can watch anything. It will work out for you definitely. Without knowing anything, the basics also, you don't know anything. If you are following that, everyone release the marathon or revision classes only for promotion purpose, even me also. That is revision, means already whoever purchased our classes, okay, earlier year also, like both the present year also, they can understood easily. But newly students also, they are watching, they can understood, but not up to the qualification marks. Next, done, Anna? 13 months from the, here we have to change, sorry. 13 months from the what, ma? End of the quarter, in which, yes, we have to change. In which quarter? 158 BC notice was issued. Dana? Now, we can back to the other provisions also. We can back to the other provisions also. So nothing but how many are done, Ra? So I think mostly some provisions which are voluminous also that are done. Okay, now we can discuss this provision 158BA. The basic points relating to, yes sir, basic points relating to block assessment they given here. Okay, my amendment in this is nothing but in in undisclosed income definition they added what, ma? Virtual digital asset. 158BB entirely changed. 158BC they added the 4 cases extra. In that 4 cases there is an extension of how many days time limit? 30 days. In BD they given the clarity for other person what is a block period. If one specified person is there, same period. One or more specified two or more specified persons are there whose block period ended on the later date. Here the time limit is ended from the quarter. Previously from month end time limits, now they amended to the from the end of the quarter. Clear? Now it is not amended, normal only. The basic points relating to sets. Definitely I think one of you are already asked this doubt during the break time. I think you can listen. Now you will get a clarity. Yes. Shall we start this section? What is the section? Tell me. Section 158B. Yeah, right? What is that, ma? So we can discuss the 158BA means some basic points we can discuss. Assessment of total income. How we can do the assessment of total income? Assessment of total income. As a result of what, ma? As a result of, but here I can add one more. As a result of search only or another one, requisition also. Basic points we can discuss in this. Assessment almost done, but before completion of the assessment totally, some basic points I will tell you. These are very important also for understanding purposes. Whether we are going with the block assessment or not, that is decides only one thing. What is that, ma? Search date. If search initiated or concluded date, we have to check. Initiated date we have to check. There is no botherance about the concluded date. Initiated, search initiated on or after what date? 1/9/2024 block assessment. Before income escapement assessment. Remember, search initiated date only we have to check. No need to think about the search concluded date. Now I will take the one question. Yes, if search initiated, if search what, ma? Initiated on or after what date? 1/9/2024. Directly which assessment, ma? Block assessment. There is no doubt in this, right? Okay. In our examples, we taken multiple examples. Search concluded on or after this date only. But here maybe you will get a confusion, ma? Search initiated before 1/9/2024. But concluded, yes, but concluded after this date, after 1/9/2024. My initiated date we have to check, concluded date we have to check. Initiated only we have to check. Here initiated before this date or after? Before. So that's why other assessment will start. What is the other assessment, ma? Income escapement assessment. Under section what, ma? 147. Done. Which date we have to check? Initiated date. Concluded date is not required. Only we have to check the initiated date. Done. Second point. In block assessment, we are doing the assessment for the entire block, right? Entire block, right? Block means nothing but 6 years plus during the previous year some period. Now, I am going with this example again. Listen, ra. Here, ma, for this year, assessment was pending. Assessment was pending. Not for this year. Okay, suppose if you file return for this year, assessment completed or pending? Pending. Which assessment? Maybe scrutiny assessment was pending. Then, based on the search initiated date, we want to start the block assessment, right? Then what about this pending assessment? Shall we continue both, or we need to go with the only one assessment? That means for block period, we have nearly 6 years. Any one of the assessment was pending. That may be best judgment assessment, income escapement, or what? Scrutiny assessment. If any assessment is pending, do I need to continue both the assessment, that is pending assessment as well as block assessment, or only we can go with the block assessment? These doubts you will get in examinations only if they are asking questions. That's why in 158 BA they clarified everything. If pending assessment is there, that pending assessment must be abated. On this, we have to start what? Block assessment only for the entire block period. So nothing but the pending assessment. Please write it down, ma. Pending assessments. Pending assessment or reassessment. Can you tell me what do you mean by the reassessment? 147. Related to block period. Related to which period? Block period. What we have to do? Shall be abated. Abated means what, ma? It should be stopped. Understood? If you are listen for 5 to 10 minutes, then you will understood this. Otherwise, don't try to listen. Okay. If you don't want to know this third point, completely you can ignore. Otherwise, listen perfectly. Half of listening, definitely you will get confusion, and it leads to complete choice you can take with respect to the block assessment point. Okay. Now, who is the most corrupted politician in AP and Telangana? Huh? I'm giving the free hand, yes, you can tell me. నేను పెద్ద ఫ్యాన్ రా, చస్తావు. మామూలుగా ఉండదు నీకు. Okay, example, we can take the most corrupted politician. Any name you can take, X, Y, Z also, or any other person. Okay, we don't want to go with the controversies. Okay, everyone having the own fans and etc. Now we can take the Mr. X is an corrupted person, or is not a corrupted person. Okay, take any other person name. Now listen. Intentionally, he is an opposition. He is an opposition now. Now, intentionally, central government initiated the search. Okay, within their hands only. They simply, if any other person who are in the higher position or in that ruling, if they are given the instructions to the department, yes, definitely they will go for the water search. Now, suppose we can take Mr. X. In the hands of Mr. X, they started the search procedures. They started the what, ma? Search procedures. After search, what they will do? Seizure. After seizure, what they will start, ma? Block assessment. Pending assessment position, what will be happen? Abated. So now what is the position? Pending assessments cancel. Instead of that, all the pending assessment for entire block, the department started the which assessment, ma? Block assessment. Now our Mr. X is filing case in front of the court. Sir, there is no need of conducting search in my hands. They didn't identify anything. But they have started the block assessment. Yes, they have an option to file the water appeal. Okay, they are approached at the court. Example. Now, remember, I will take the third point. Yes, it will take 5 to 10 minutes. You will understood easily. Okay, in appeal. Yes, ma, in appeal. What happened? In appeal, what happened? I will tell you. So first, the department started the search. After that, seizure. After that, they want to start the block assessment. They given 158 BC notice also. But after receiving this 158 BC notice, our Mr. X filed the appeal. Sir, unnecessarily they starting the block assessment, but no need to start the block assessment against me. Now, they already issued 158 BC notice means this assessment's cancelled. Stopped or not? Yes. Suppose if he won the case in front of appellate authorities, then what is the position, ma? Block assessment required to be abated. Instead of that, abated assessment will restart. Again, I am revealing the information again. Listen carefully. So, Mr. X is there. One pending assessment is there. That is scrutiny assessment. He is satisfied with everything. But unfortunately, the department started the which assessment, ma? Block assessment. What is that pending assessment position, ma? Abated. But personally, Mr. X don't want to go with the block assessment. That's why he make an appeal to the appellate authority. Appellate authority given the order, block assessment no need to conduct in the hands of Mr. X. Now, which assessment required to be stopped? Block assessment. If block assessment is stopped, the pending assessment already abated. Now it will revived. This pending assessment, whatever we abated on the occasion of issuance of 158 BC notice, whatever the pending assessments are abated, now this abated assessment will revive. Again, we have to do this pending assessment. Why block assessment stopped against the Mr. X? That is only, now we can take the assessments are not at all done. I will tell you one more time, two more times explanation. Assessments are what annual combined. Assessments are what annual means what combined. Now I will write few more things. All assessment which are abated. Can you tell me which assessments are abated? 143.3 assessment is abated because of the which assessment started in the hands of SSC? Block assessment. Now they are saying appellate authority is given the order, don't go with the block assessment in the hands of Mr. X. Block assessment will stop. But pending assessment, whatever abated earlier, now these pending abatements will be, pending assessment which were abated earlier, now these assessments will revive. That means we have to continue these pending assessment. Shall I start this word? Yes. All assessments. What is it? All assessments which were pending, which were abated. Why it is abated? Because of initiation of 158 BC. That is block assessment notice. Block assessment started, pending assessment cancelled. Not cancelled, passed. Now, SSC made an appeal. Appellate authority given the judgment favorable to whom? SSC. No need to go for the block assessment. There is no block assessment in your hands hereafter. Then pending assessment shall be revived. Which were abated shall be revived. Shall be revived from the date of annulment. From the date of what? Annulment means nothing but order. Understood? Next. Okay. Here who got a favorable judgment? Okay. In High Court, SSC got favorable judgment. Now department what they will do? They will go for Supreme Court. No sir, at any cost I want to start the block assessment only. At any cost I want to start the block assessment only. The reason, during the search I identified this much of undisclosed assets. Because of search requisition I want to start the block assessment. In front of which court they are arguing? It is High Court. And now department is going with the what? Supreme Court. Why department is going? Because they lost in front of High Court. So that's why further appeal can be filed by the department in front of Supreme Court. Now Supreme Court is given the judgment. On Mr. X, block assessment only required to be conducted. The reverse. That means High Court judgment is reversed in case of what? Supreme Court. Whatever this order, annulment order is there, that now we have to set aside, ignore. Yes, what is that? Annulment order. Can you tell me this is given by whom? Annulment order given by whom? High Court. That annulment order is set aside. That means based on this, which assessment will start in the hands of SSC? Block assessment only. Which assessment abated? 143.2 assessment is abated. Now I will tell you again, please remember. SSC is Mr. X. In the hands of Mr. X, pending assessment is there for that earlier years, that is a scrutiny assessment. During this year, search conducted. Based on the search, AO issued the 158 BC notice. If 158 BC notice issued, the pending assessment required to be what? Abated. After receiving the 158 BC notice for block assessment by the SSC, SSC made an appeal to High Court example. High Court given the judgment what? Assessments are annulled. That means annual means simply we are cancelling the block assessment. If block assessment is cancelled, pending assessment we abated, that shall be what? Revived. Simply in this case, who won the argument? SSC. If an SSC won the argument in level, yes, next level who will appeal? Department is appeal. The department is an appeal before Supreme Court. Yes, Supreme Court is given the block assessment is required to conduct. If block assessment is required to conduct, that order given by the Supreme Court, that isn't final, right? So that's why this High Court decision we have to set aside. Set aside means nothing but which assessment will start now, ma? 158 assessment will start, and the pending assessment again we have to do what, ma? Abated. So this is only, I can give it as an annualment or revival of assessments. Revival of what, ma? Assessments. Simple, ra. If block assessment is there, the pending assessment shall be abated. After issuing the block assessment notices, later if block assessment is revoked, means what, ma? Cancel. That abated assessment now we have to revive. If block assessment is there, automatically the pending assessment shall be abated. If there is no block assessment, the pending assessment which were abated earlier, now this shall be revived. These things will be reversed in the next level of appellate authority also. Understood? Somewhat? Otherwise, simply you can ignore. Fourth point. What is that? Fourth point. Ma, block period means, I think you know, how many years, ma? Block period of how many years? 6 previous years, right? Plus there is one more period. That period, along with the 6 years, that period is in the which year? Search or requisition done year, right? Made in the previous year. Remember, for these years only we have to identify the undisclosed income. Yes, in our question also, if you observe, question number 20, undisclosed incomes we identified for the what, ma? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For these 6 years only we identified the what, ma? Undisclosed income. On this only we are required to pay the tax at the rate of how much, ma? 60%. During the previous year, it will be taxed as per normal provisions only, because it is in previous year. In assessment year you can pay the tax. That's why this income will required to be taxed as per what, ma? Normal provision. That's why it is an excluded also from the undisclosed income. Now I will tell you, these 6 years only you can find the what, undisclosed income. What is that? Undisclosed income. Yes, and shall be assessable as per which assessment? Block assessment. Shall be accessible as per block assessment. Understood? Now, can you tell me, this season, whatever the total income done in this previous year, it is accessible. That is nothing but what, ma? This income, whatever it is there, it is not an undisclosed income. It is accessible. Shall be accessible. How we can accessible means how we can calculate tax on that as per which provisions, ma? Normal provisions of the act. Normal provisions of the act. Fifth one, Anna. Fifth one. Last point for this section. My every point is a new thing only. Okay, maybe if I am not discussing this, yes, we will get a confusion. Initiated date we have to check, concluded date we have to check. Only what, ma? Initiated. Once block assessment started, the pending assessment related to block period is abated. That may be reversed in case of what, ma? Appeals also. Next, yes, based on this question, maybe you can understood. Yes, the block period for that 6 previous years and during this year, the 6 years related only undisclosed income as per block assessment. The remaining is for normal provision. You can check clearly. Yes, this is only we total up to know 227.7, sorry 222.7, 320, sorry 370 and 20. Totally I think we got in 619, right? We got 619. We computed up to that what, my last 6 years only undisclosed income. This is taxed as per normal provisions only. Anna, next, Anna. Last one. Yes, sir. Block assessment started, right? While doing the block assessment, again search conducted in the hands of same person. One search conducted, concluded, block assessment initiated. During conducting this block assessment, Again, search initiated in that person hands only. Now we have to start the what are block assessment 2. Now I have a doubt. Can I conduct this simultaneously 2 block assessment or one after one? Example, block assessment time limit completion also you know. But during the procedure of doing the block assessment, one more time search initiated. Now based on search we have to start what? Block assessment. Now my doubt is, yes, definitely we can do 2 block assessment 1, block assessment 2. Same time we can do both or one after one. Simultaneously, how many of you are saying? One after one. The remaining are handicapped, right? EDU disability. అప్పుడప్పుడు అనిపించింది మీకు తప్పులేదు క్లాస్ ఆఫ్ చెప్పటం ఎఫర్ట్స్ పెట్టకండి మీరు చూపించే ఇంట్రెస్ట్ చూసినప్పుడు నాకు అనిపించింది పర్లేదు అది కూడా జరిగిద్ది ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ పక్కాగా అవుతారు మీరు అవ్వకపోతే నేను చెప్తా ఇది నేను సరిగ్గా చెప్పలేదు ఈ రోజు అని ఓకేనా మీ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఎంత ఉంటుందో అంతే ఇంట్రెస్ట్ నేను చెప్తా మీరు డల్గా ఉన్నారనుకోండి నేను లేట్గా వస్తా మధ్యలోనే వెళ్ళిపోతా బ్రేక్ ఎక్కువ టైం తీసుకుంటా అటు ఇటు తిరిగి వస్తా టైం అయిపోద్ది ఇప్పుడు చెప్పండి సైమల్టేనియస్ అసెస్మెంట్స్ హౌ మెనీ ఆఫ్ యూ పార్షియల్లీ హ్యాండిక్యాప్డా సగం సగమే హ్యాండ్ రైజ్ అవుతుంది సైమల్టేనియస్లీ ఓకే వన్ ఆఫ్టర్ వన్ అసెస్మెంట్ ద రిమైనింగ్ yes remember the first assessment we have to complete first then after we can start the block assessment 2 simultaneously if you are doing there is no effectiveness and there is no clarity also for the assessing officer first they will concentrate on block assessment 1 after completion of block assessment 1 they will initiate the what block assessment 2 because of subsequent search initiated so please write down this if subsequent search why we are using the subsequent already one search initiated based on that already assessment started during that assessment pending one more time search or requisition initiated that's why we are calling it as an what subsequent if subsequent search or requisition tell me initiated happened or initiated tell me during the pending block assessment during the pending block assessment during the pending block assessment then what we have to do earlier block assessment must be completed first the earlier block assessment must be completed first then after we can initiate a block assessment we can initiate the further assessment done sir I think first set of provisions are done what are that 158b 158ba this is only 158bb how to compute the undisclosed total income 158bc notice 158bd other person 158be assessment completion time limits so if you observe we discussed these things what are the first 158b what are definitions 158b is nothing but definitions 158ba basic points we are discussed just now next undisclosed income totally how we can compute 158bb negative list also we discussed first section we started this is only the procedure for block assessment next 158bd other person related assessment how we can initiate and what is that block period also for him next for this specified person and other person what is the time limit for completion of the assessment the main provisions are over already over now we can start the whatever the miscellaneous provisions we have bef bfa bg shall we start one by one now sir what is the tick marks these provisions are amended clear here what is the amendment virtual digital asset here the total format itself changed here what is that additional 30 days allowed for how many cases 4 cases here other person related block period related clarification they given What is the clarification? One specified person, same period. More than two are there, whichever is later. And now time limit completion. They are given the time limits from the end of the quarter, now 12 months. In those 4 cases, we given an extension in this section. Yes, we given the 13 months time period for completion of assessment from the end of the quarter. Done. Yes, now we can start the 158 BF and 158 BFA. 2 are interlinked provisions only. Ma, here, please read the section numbers, ma. Certain penalties we can't impose. Then, which penalties we can impose in this assessment? First section, these penalties don't apply. Next, what you have to apply? Shall we start one by one? After completion of these things only, I will give a break. So that's why quickly you can write it down. Okay, 3 more sections are there, small sections only. Shall we? What is that section number? Section 158. Huh? 158 BE done. What are BE done? Now BF. What is that? Certain interest and penalties levied or not levied? Certain interest and penalties are not levied or imposed. Sir, these section numbers we can get in further chapters, not now, because penalties is in last chapters in our discussion. But remember the section numbers, now you can't do anything. Penalties, section numbers. Yes, first I will tell you interest provisions. Section 234A, B, C, these 3 sections are interest provisions. In advanced tax and interest chapter we can discuss. In block assessment, please don't apply these things. No need to calculate the 234A interest, B interest, C interest in case of block assessment. Now penalties, sir. Yes, penalty under section 270 era, which is most important in our penalties chapter. Penalty on underreporting or misreporting of income. If you are underreported your income intentionally, if you misreported your income unintentionally, the meaning is what? If you are underreported, misreported, you are avoiding the what tax simply. So that's why they will ask penalty. But in these cases, don't apply this penalty. Don't apply this penalty. Advantage only, right? Ma, here, in our example, how much is under-disclosed or misreported? 300 crores plus 60 lakh. That's sorry, 300 lakh plus what ma? 60 lakh. 3.6 crores under-reported. He's not disclosed properly in earlier years. That means he has to pay penalty, right? Under 270A, but no need to levy the penalty. Why? We have one more section. What is it? B, F, A. In that clearly which interest we have to calculate, which penalties we have to apply also clearly they given. Simply they are given the clarification. These interest provisions will not apply in block assessment. These penalties provisions are not applicable. The most famous penalty, if you underreported your income or if you misreported your income, definitely you have to pay the penalty under section 278. But in this block assessment, don't apply this penalty. Now, what is the next section, ma? One section is over. Section 158 BFA. Now, levy of what, ma? Interest and penalty. Levy of what, ma? Interest and penalty. So most difficult thing in entire income tax, for me, okay, I don't know how others are feeling also, that whatever the topics we discussing right now, that delivery only, that most difficult. Assessment procedures, you don't know anything, just we are imagining something and we are trying to understand. Return of income somehow you can know by way of filing 1 return or 2 returns also. But next assessment procedure. So just based on imagination only we understood. Section numbers also we remember. Then after another level is what? Search. Okay, anyhow I think this is only the last session. Workbook we can complete in next. So another level is their appeals. If it is done, then remaining chapters understandings is very easy. Okay, if anyone is asking which one is most important chapters, I will tell you DTAA transfer pricing only. But in DTAA transfer pricing, always you will get these words of assessment, appeal, seizure, search, etc. Then how we can understood the chapter properly? Okay, you qualified, ra. Okay, with the MCQs also, with the God help also, or with your friends help also, with your faculty help also, you qualified. But what you will do after completion of the CMA? You have to attend for interviews. In interviews, then you can understood what you lacked in the coaching or in preparation, in article stage, everything. ఇప్పుడు థర్డ్ ఫ్లోర్ ఉంది కదా, క్వాలిఫై అయిన వాళ్ళు చదువుకుంటూ ఉన్నారు, వెళ్ళి చూడండి తెలిసిద్ది. ఇంటర్వ్యూస్కి అబద్ధమైతే పోయి నువ్వు క్వాలిఫైడ్ అని అడుగు, వాడే చదువుతాడు క్వాలిఫైడ్ కాదు. క్లియరా? రియాలిటీ అదిరా, రియాలిటీ చెప్పకపోతే మళ్ళీ దెబ్బ అయిపోతారు కాబట్టి. అది ఆల్రెడీ జాబ్కి వెళ్ళిన వాళ్ళు కూడా ఉన్నారు, అది డిఫరెంట్ మ్యాటర్లే. వెళ్ళి వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు కూడా ఉన్నారు రే. Next, sir, what is that? First, we will discuss the interest. What is that? Interest. Yes, next we'll discuss the what mark penalty. Sir, why we will levy the interest in this section? 158 BC notice if I issued, then you have to file the what? Return. If that return filed in a late manner, then I will calculate interest. What is that? Interest for delay in filing of what? Return of income under section 158 BC. Now, if this return filed in a delayed manner, then we can calculate the interest. No need to calculate the 234A, B, C. Sir, every time if you want to calculate the interest, amount, rate of interest, the period, these three parameters only we have to think. On which amount we have to calculate the interest, on which, what is the rate of interest, what is the period. Now I will decode everything. Amount, on which amount we can pay the interest, simply on undisclosed income. No. Tax on undisclosed income. Tax on what? Undisclosed. This is only required to pay to the government by using filing this return. How much I declared in my 158 BC return in our example? 300 lakh. On 300 lakh, what is the tax? 60%. Surcharge 0. Education says 4%. Totally, this is a tax I required to pay. But it is delayed, right? Yes. It is delayed. Now, interest. Tax on undisclosed income. What is the rate of interest? Rate is, yes, they are charging generally they will charge always 1%. But in this case, they are asking 1.5% per month or part of month. Next period we have to know. Anna, what is that? Period. What is that? Period. Remember, sir, when we have to calculate the interest, if this is delayed. Delay means after 60 days. In extension cases, after 90 days, interest computation will start till the filing of the return. Yes, the period will start from which date? Yes, what is that? Next date after expiry of time limit. After expiry of time limit under section 158 BC to date of completion of assessment. Remember, not date of filing, till the date of completion of assessment. Then only we can know everything. Then date of completion of what? Assessment. Sir, why they given this? Simple. Assessment means at the time of your filing, it is self-assessment. At the time of AO will recompute. Okay, you don't know this point, but simply you can ignore. Suppose I file the 158 BC return 10 days delayed later. Then calculate. After assessment completion, again he will calculate whether you declared correct or incorrect. Okay, simple example. On how much amount of tax you can? Tax on 300 lakh, you calculated the interest, right? But AO is required to calculate tax on how much? 360 lakh. That means this interest is computed in both the person's hands. One time SSC will calculate, then after AO will recalculate whether you paid correct or incorrect. Suppose SSC paid 1 lakh. SSC paid how much interest? 1 lakh. AO calculated it is on 1.2 lakh. Yes, after adjusting this 1 lakh, the remaining 20,000 only, the balance will collected by whom? AO. This interest will be calculated at 2 stages. After advanced tax and interest chapter, you will understood everything. What is the 2 stages also. First, who is required to calculate this interest? SSC. Next, AO. So that's why at the time of SSC computation, self-assessment. That means nothing but you only file this return on your own. If at the time of AO computation, it is what block assessment completion. Clear? Now we have to discuss the penalty points. What is it? Interest. Okay, this interest only levy. Don't levy this interest. Now we'll discuss about the penalties. We'll discuss about the what? Penalty. Penalty for what? Undisclosed income. Sir, already some penalties are there for underreporting, misreporting in our act. Don't apply that. I will tell you which penalties you have to apply in block assessment. Now we can discuss what is that? 50% directly. What is the penalty they are offering? 50% of tax on undisclosed incomes. 50% of tax on what? Undisclosed income determined by whom? AO. Sir, AO determined some undisclosed income. AO determined what? Undisclosed income. On that undisclosed income, what is the tax calculate? On the tax, how much? 50% penalty. Suppose on 300 lakh, if you calculated the tax, it is an 30 lakh. What is the penalty? 50%. Sir, remember, not on undisclosed income. Tax on undisclosed income, on that how much? 50%. Now, I will write it down few more things. It will take 10 to 15 minutes time. Listen carefully. Around 5 minutes we can take extra and we can take leave. Remember, immunity. Immunity means what? Relaxation. Immunity of penalty under section. Yes, I am writing some provisions related to penalties. 271A subsection 1. 271D, 271DA, 271E, these penalties, yes immunity you will get. Sir, which penalty directly will not apply? 270A penalty will not apply directly. Instead of that, which penalties we have to calculate? This penalty we have to calculate. What is the penalty? 50% of tax on undisclosed. These penalties is applicable in your hands. Sir, what are these penalties? I don't want to tell you. Now I don't want to tell you. In penalties chapter, these are all in that order. You will get amended also in this attempt. These penalties will apply, but you will get what? Relaxation from these penalties. Immunity means relaxation will be granted whom? Will be granted to whom? SSC. When? If the following conditions are satisfied. If the following conditions are satisfied. Remember, which penalties will not apply in block assessment? 270A. Which are applicable? This penalty is applicable. And these penalties also will apply. But some cases you can get what? Immunity if the following conditions are satisfied. What are the following conditions? First condition, first condition, they clearly saying, if return filed under 158 BC, first one. Anyhow, you file the return first. Second one, already return file and paid tax also due, paid tax due based on return of income under section 158 BC. If money was seized, sir, okay, you can pay first. If already money seized, we can offer, what we can offer, please do adjust that money. Offer to adjust against tax due. That means indirectly, directly we paid the what? Tax also as per the return. Next, after payment of tax, please submit the proof of payment of tax also provided. Proof of payment of tax also. Proof of payment of tax also provided to the department. Now, yes, block assessment order given. In this block assessment order, look, I will tell you what is that tax you have to pay. Along with that, already I calculated interest, right? This much of amount you have to pay. Next, this is a penalty you have to pay. That means after completion of block assessment, I will issue demand notice along with the what ma block assessment order. In the demand notice, I will ask the tax, penalty, interest. Now, that block assessment order, whatever we got, if you are not going for appeal, if you are not going for what ma appeal, then you will get this relaxation. What is the relaxation? From these penalties, you will get the relaxation when ma SSC not appealed against the assessment order. Not appealed against the what ma assessment order. Dana. All of you, if these conditions are cumulatively satisfied, SSC can get the relaxation of penalties of these provisions. Otherwise, these provisions will apply. Penalty you have to pay as per these provisions also. Understood? Yes, sir. Now, we'll take the one more point. We'll take the one more point. Yes, ma'am. However, no immunity in this case. However, no immunity. Immunity means what, ma'am? Relaxation. Here, no immunity for SSC. There is no immunity for SSC. If undisclosed income determined by AO is higher than the income reported by SSC, income reported in written under section 158 BC by whom? SSC. Can you tell me, in our example, our SSC reported how much, ma? 300 crores. AO identified how much, ma? Total 360. Now, sorry, lakhs. Can you tell me, AO identified higher than the SSC? Yes. Now, in this case, there is no immunity. Why? If you disclosed everything properly, I can give immunity. You disclosed in return, you paid tax also. This is an correct or fake? Fake. Because you have to pay the tax on how much? 360 lakh, but you paid only on how much, ma? 300. Now, penalty also I can give, penalty related immunity also I can give proportionately to this portion only. Over and above related proportion related penalties you have to pay. Because you declared 300 lakh, and you paid 300 lakh related everything. So that's why if any relaxation I want to give with respect to penalty, in this proportion only I will give. Extra proportion, how much is there, ma? 60 lakh related, I will not give any immunity. So that is only, in this case, penalty will apply. In this case, no immunity means what, ma? Penalty will apply. In this case, penalty will apply. Such excess for such excess undisclosed income. Can you tell me what is that excess undisclosed income? How much, ma? 60 lakh. Done. Next one. Last section. What is the last section, ma? What is the last section? 158G. Sorry, 158BG. Section 158BG. What is that, ma? Authority to competent. Authority to competent. Authority to competent to make assessment of block period. Assessment of block period. Done. But generally, assessment order of the block assessment can be passed by Deputy Commissioner of Income Tax, yes ma, Deputy Commissioner of Income Tax or Director of Income Tax, Assistant, what is that ma? Assistant Commissioner of Income Tax or Assistant Director of Income Tax. Next one ma, ITO. These fellows only given the 158 BC notice, please check. 158 BC notice issued by these fellows only. That means assessment order also can be passed by whom? These authorities only. But definitely they have to take an approval from the JCIT, JDIT or nothing but what ma? Additional CIT or additional DIT. So from these fellows we have to take an approval. Based on this approval we can do the assessment and we can complete the what ma? Assessment. Now can you tell me which authorities are competent to complete the block assessment? These authorities. For these authorities, who's given the power ma? Above two authorities are given the power. Simply AO can do the block assessment. Done. So every point discussed in the block assessment. So in this order only, please read this. Yes, they given the section numbers in one order. They given the section numbers in this way. But while you are starting the revision, please go with the first definition. Then after what ma? BC. Then after BB. Then after BD. Then after BE. Then BA. Then after this. Whatever that order we discussed. The first 158B. Next 158BC procedure. Then after 158BB, how to compute the total undisclosed income of the block period. Then after other person 158BD. Last total time limit for completion of assessment BE. Last basic points whatever we have in our block assessment. Last what are the penalties are need not to be imposed or interest need not to be imposed. Interest under section 234A, BC is not applicable. Penalty 270A is not applicable. Next, interest separately we can calculate. What is the rate of interest? 1.5% per month or part of the month. What is the penalty sections we can apply? 271A AD, 271D, 271DA, 271E will apply. In some cases we can get the immunity also regarding those penalties. Last one, authority to make the assessment. Who can complete the assessment ma? AO. AO means nothing but specifically deputy, assistant, ITO. In order to complete that assessment, they have to take a permission from their higher authority, additional as well as joint. Yes, sir. So tomorrow we can discuss the workbook related to search and seizure and survey concepts. Yes, block assessment entirely done. Thank you.